retweet that, of course.
Oh, I pressed live.
We
As much as I tried to delay this, Bilal, had to be done. No intro, no. Did I even press any buttons? I don't even know what I've done. But we're live, people. You're all very, very welcome. Very welcome to. I guess it's your favorite calling show. Your favorite Saturday night calling show, Calling Khan, where it's all about you guys, your club, your opinions, your moans, your groans, your gloating, as the case may be today. People, we have got a very smiley face. We have got a grumpy old man over here. So I don't know if you want to speak to me today, but by all means, speak up, come in, call in, speak about your team. I'm going to about to put the link in the next 30 seconds while I introduce you. I don't even introduce you, man. Just say hello and what a good day for you, Bilal.
Yeah, man. Hello, guys. Welcome to the Callin Show. Of course, yeah, we just started off, no intro. But you know what? I just think that sums up how Grizz is kind of feeling with Liverpool right now. It's just a bit abrupt what's happening. And yeah, with Arsenal, of course, my team won, got the job done early. And it's always nice when you get that 12:30 and you win, just sit back and watch the rest of the show. And today, Liverpool, I think today, yeah, is going to be heavy Liverpool talk because I'm hearing some crazy stuff from some Liverpool fans. I'm going to be honest. And that game, to be honest, when you see that kind of game and the season you guys are having, I think it's kind of understandable. So yeah, I can't wait for the show and all the
I
calls.
hope not, man. I hope we get Arsenal fans that want to speak about Arsenal. I hope Chelsea fans call in that want to speak about Chelsea. Man, really, Liverpool fans, are we really gonna do this? But you know, as we say, it is up to them, man. I'm just give me 2 seconds, man. Hold the fort. Bilal, just I don't know, read out some comments or something. Just give me 2 minutes.
Yeah, guys,
I'm about to put the link in the chat, people. I'm about to put the link in the chat. And then obviously, as you know, new callers, channel members get priority. And yeah, man, let's get liking, let's get smashing, and let's get talking.
Yeah, 100%. I saw this actually. Michael, who's on the Young Bucks show, mentioned this, and I saw he said that Liverpool have the same amount of points as Everton, as echoed by George here. And yeah, I think that's mad. I'm not gonna lie, but I've always been that guy who's always favoured Frank Lampard over Steven Gerrard in terms of management, and I think now maybe Everton they got a little something, but I think that's more to do with Liverpool. If we're keeping it 100% real, fans of Liverpool saying, I'm guessing we're gonna struggle to get top 4. To be honest, I tip Liverpool to get top 4, like a minimum. But obviously, if you keep playing like this, and I think going into the World Cup, there's like 9 games, like in total, Champions League, Premier League. If teams struggle in this month, I think coming back after the World Cup could be very difficult, trying to claw points back. So Liverpool need to get their act together, to be honest. And the 7-year curse might actually be real. Who knows? Chelsea fan here saying Potterball is real. Brighton still immense and Chelsea coming back to the top. That's a interesting take because I didn't watch a game, but we will get into it. Hopefully we get a Chelsea fan on because I saw that Thiago Silva should have been sent off.
I'm not even going to lie to you. Check this out. How long? 3 minutes into the stream, the studio is full.
Yeah, it's a mad. Today is a mad
day.
The
studio is full. Everyone is looking to come in and speak. Guys, I see you all. I'm just gonna give us a couple of minutes to compose ourselves and get ready for the show, and then I'll start calling the people in. Of course, channel members and new callers will get priority, as you guys already know. But Bilal, man, you probably look. I haven't eaten, I haven't drank. I got a cup of tea. I got a tuna panini melt right here, and I'm gonna drown my sorrows talking to you, being happy for you. Chelsea fans want to come and talk about Potter. Manchester Derby still to come. It's tomorrow, a Mazza weekend. Yeah. This weekend is still yet to be finished, completed. Who else? Well, bring up the results, man. Talk to me. What else has been happening? Because my mind's a blur right now.
It's been a mad day in terms of scorelines, to be honest. Of course, Arsenal at the beginning of the day 3-1. The mad game at Anfield 3-3. Newcastle today 4-1 against Fulham. Fulham got a red card, I believe, in the first 10 minutes.
Yeah,
got my Newcastle friend, he just texts me all sorts of stuff about Newcastle. He's buzzing. Everton winning away from home against Southampton. Chelsea last minute winner, Conor Gallagher 2-1 at Selhurst Park against Crystal Palace. Bournemouth, Brentford 0-0. And I kind of find that interesting. You know how everyone kind of has a perception of Bournemouth that they're like bottom of the table, the worst team. they're up there. You know, they're
They're
not doing
doing
bad.
well,
It's
bro.
weird. Yeah.
You take out their defeats to us and City.
Mm-hmm. They played, I think they played City, Arsenal, Liverpool. They lost all three. Everyone's got the perception that they're going to get relegated. Scott Parker's gone, but they're getting results. I think 0-0 against Brentford is an impressive result. And West Ham, at the time of taking this little screen grab, 2-0 up. So I believe it must have finished 2-0 to West Ham. And of course, tomorrow we've got the Manchester Derby, Leeds Villa. And yeah, on Monday, Leicester Forest. And Leicester Forest, to finish it off, I think that's going to be mad because that could be a bit of a sacking situation if it goes wrong for Leicester. So there's so many talking points in the Premier League, and that's why the studio is packed. Everyone's buzzing to get on, and we've got so much to talk about.
Is it exactly? I don't know. See, this could go anywhere, and I'm not here to give my opinions today, people. If you're gonna try to rattle me, or if you're gonna try to get analysis out of me, it ain't happening today. I'm not here for analysis today. I'm here for therapy. I'm here for other people talking to me and telling me how they feel. I'm telling you now, I'm going to be a miserable host, Bilal. I'm sorry. You're the one with the smiles today.
It's okay. I'm happy, man.
You're talking nice today. You're eating at the top table, bro. Talk to me, man. What is... That was, me and you had a little banter in the morning and you were saying... And I was just trying to wind you up, saying, no, I think they can get a result. I knew Arsenal are favourites.
Yeah, of course. Listen, as I said, man, I don't get nerves for a North London derby at Emirates Stadium. Like, this is light work. This is a easy 3 points. I even remember that game where Tottenham actually won the only game at the Emirates because it's the only time that's happened. I remember Yunus Kabul scoring that header. And apart from that, it's been kind of, routine Arsenal winning at the Emirates. I think it's to be expected, but the manner of how Arsenal have done it in conjunction with the results early on in the season, the position in the table, now all of that together, now people are starting to maybe think that, okay, maybe Arsenal, maybe you have to take them a little bit seriously. And I think as well, Liverpool having the sort of results they're having as well is influencing, people's decisions and thoughts on Arsenal. So for me, I'm happy with what I saw today, obviously. 3-1 win in the end. Conte, for me, I think I said it earlier and I see a comment here. It says Conte won't last the season at Tottenham playing that turgid football. And this is the point. I feel like I don't know if there's a Tottenham fan that's going to come on today, because if Tottenham aren't going to win a trophy, let's say under Conte, and you're playing that kind of football, I don't think Conte and Tottenham are going to work for much longer. And if the Juventus job comes up, Inter right now, they just lost to Rome. I don't know if that will come up again. And if you'd want to go back, I could see that situation ending at the end of this season. So, yeah, I don't know what Tottenham fans think about that. But on the Arsenal front, yeah, it was a good result, good performance. And it was what I expected, to be honest. And Saliba, that guy there, unbelievable. Gabriel next to him, not so unbelievable. But Saliba, absolute rock. And that was with Zinchenko coming back. He had a bit of an injury as well. Partey, Odegaard, all of these guys weren't exactly sharp. But still, to see the performance that they put in, not being at their best, for me, it's good signs. And now we've got Liverpool next, and I think it's going to be interesting, man.
I don't want to speak about it yet. I just don't want to speak about it yet. I just don't want to speak about our next game even. I don't even want to speak about today's game. I just want to eat my tuna panini melt. And like Sleeping Dragon says, yeah, he says, hold on, sorry. He says, you seem pretty upbeat under the circumstances, Grizz. My brother, what is there? Look, in this situation, what do you do?
You can't be depressed, man. Listen, if it's a game of football.
What do you do?
You love our team.
You either cry and get depressed, angry, frustrated, depression eating. I stopped off. I said, Bilal, I was delayed by 20 minutes. I was out, so much traffic. I said, I'm stopping off and I'm just getting myself some food, on the go food. So I just stopped off at a petrol station, and you know what? Which ones? Name the expensive ones. Not Marks and Spencer's.
Oh, Waitrose.
Waitrose.
Oh, Waitrose.
Waitrose,
yeah.
You smashed it. So I just stopped off at Waitrose, got myself one of them meal deals, £5. to get a little drink with it as well. And I said, I'm going to hop on and I'm going to let people speak and talk. So what else can I do, bro? I agree with you. I seem upbeat, but inside I'm hurt. I'm really, really hurt and frustrated and low. But it's not about me. So I have to just put on a professional face and be, I don't know. What do I have to be, man? I'd have to be shit, man. Sir, first super chat of the night.
Yeah.
Garbo Staunton. Go on, all yours.
Conte ball overrated, reverted to this formation after Arsenal spanked Chelsea playing a 4-3-3 years ago. Hasn't had the balls to play anything else since. And yeah, I remember that game. Alexis Iwobi, I think, might have scored that day 3-0. But that kind of changed Conte in the Premier League. Went to that 3 at the back, and Chelsea won their Premier League that season. But yeah, that game was a bit of a turning point. But Conte's always had the 3 at the back up his sleeve anyway. So he does like it. And ever since, yeah, he has stuck to it. Little variations. At Inter is playing more of that 3-5-2, 3 in the middle. And there was reports before the game that Tottenham were going to go with that 3 centre mids. And I was thinking, if they go with that, for me, I would have been even more confident going into the game. So for me, he still made the right decision, especially in the first half. I think you saw Richarlison, Son, Kane on the break. They were actually a bit of a threat. They got the penalty as well, so they did do something. But I think Arsenal's quality and cohesion, it's all coming to play now. I think, yeah, the Arsenal boys are firing. I don't think there's much Tottenham could have done with the players that they have with a manager like Conte in a couple weeks in the international break to really change that situation. But yeah, Conte, as I keep saying, that situation with Tottenham, if he doesn't get that trophy and Juventus come calling, and you got to remember, guys, Paratici as well, the director of football at Tottenham, he's a Juve man. He was there. He worked there for years. Conte's a Juve man. If Juve come knocking, it's a long day for Tottenham. But I can't lie, I bet some Tottenham fans would be happy, slyly, to see Conte leave and they go get a more, Pochettino type manager, project, play decent football. Because there's one thing about Tottenham, you got to give it to them. Over the years, they have played some good football. They've had some interesting players. But to win trophies, it's not been there. And a manager like Conte, he wants results. And if he's not going to get the results, he's just going to say sayonara. Yeah, it's like now or never, really. They've given him the club, the identity, the philosophy. And there's some decisions I don't understand. Like Jed Spence, he's not getting a look in at Tottenham right now. I know that was in the Conte signing.
Royale. People that, if you're going to come on and defend that, I really want to speak to you. Like, how are you going to defend that? Like, if people are going to come on and say that wasn't a red card or it was a dubious red card or whatever, I don't know, man. I'm going to be interested to hear those points. People, there's nearly 300 of you up in here. Smash that like button before we go any further, before we get that first caller on. Smash. Studio's full. Brothers in the studios. There's no sisters. All brothers at the moment. Let me just double check. Brothers in the studio. Patience is the name of the thing tonight. There's hell of you today in there. I'm going to try to get as many of you as I can. How many can you fit in this one? Because we've upgraded our StreamYard.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I can have a look.
Oh, it doesn't matter. It'll tell us when it's full.
Yeah, it'll tell us.
It'll tell us when it's full.
Yeah.
Because I'm interested, actually, because that might be different.
Yeah.
Joke. What number is that? Roman numerals?
I don't think it's a 5. Someone tell me. I ain't got a clue. It might
5.
Be a 7.
Oh my God, you don't know. That's of course that's 5. Joke 7 says
Henry V, yeah? And all that. Okay. Let's say 9.
By the end of the season, you might be up 10 kg after these Liverpool performances, brother. Don't say that. I worked so hard to put it all off, and now they're pissing me off, and it's making me put it all on again. But what can I do? All right, we're gonna get the first caller of the night. There's a new face, new name, unless I'm mistaken. I sometimes am. Adrian, we're gonna get Adrian in the stream. Adrian, can you hear us?
Yeah, bro, can you hear me?
Yes, my friend. How are you?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm good. Sorry if it's a bit dark. It's literally just because my Wi-Fi is good here. So
it's not a problem, bro. As long as we can hear you and you don't do any funny business on stream, we're good to go.
But yeah, I was wondering if I could just talk a little bit of everything because today was just so hectic. I just gotta get a little.
Let's go. Let's have a bit of everything. Let's go.
Here's my thing, yeah. With Arsenal, shout out the Cronkies actually, and this is why they stuck with this guy, regardless of everything. When everything was going up, everyone wanted him out. They stuck with him and they believed in his project. And now they're seeing the fruits of that labor. The only issue I've had with Arsenal, and no club is perfect, is it seems like they build their squad assuming everything goes perfectly. And that's the only criticism I have. It'll be interesting to see. Because, we talked about how well they're playing and everything. It'll be interesting to see how they keep this up once the Europa League starts getting in, once the matches start piling up during the congestion. Because with this World Cup coming up, boy, the number of fixtures are going to be mad. But But yeah,
So,
Tottenham.
so hold on. Are you an Arsenal fan, by the way?
No, I'm not. I was watching all the games. I'm actually a Chelsea fan. I just wanted to talk about.
Okay,
a bit
no
of
problem.
everything.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. That's cool.
But it was the
Yeah.
big game, innit? It's the big game of the day, and I felt like
100%.
Arsenal. They've been a club where people have been a bit scared to talk about them or praise them, but now I think they deserve their dues. You know what I mean?
Have you been one of those people?
No. I've said in the first year when Arteta came, I was fully not against it. The time when I think I changed was when they started cutting down on their salary, acting like a big club. You know, I think it was that January window when they started cutting off players who weren't performing. I can't remember. Was that last year or the year before? I can't remember which one it was. But they just got so many people off the books, and I was like, okay, now Arsenal are actually moving serious now. And they're looking, and the players they are linked with, I was like, if they get the right players and the right roles, they can really make something well here. It's just I didn't like the fact that they were relying on players which they knew had deficiencies and they were injury prone. That's the only issue I've had with Arsenal and the way they've run it. But apart from that, they've been great. That game next week, boy, it might be a peak, man. It might be a peak, especially at Emirates.
Relations will be severed on that week.
Yeah, is it at the Emirates or?
Yeah, it's at the Emirates.
Listen, man, listen.
You used to have fun to speak about it between yourselves. I'm here. I'm just waiting for my tea to cool down so I can start sipping.
And this is where I'm going to pivot as well, because I think I think Chelsea and Arsenal they're in an interesting situation where I see a lot of similarities in terms of what the clubs are trying to do. But of course, Arsenal are a lot later down the line, and we'll see. It'll be interesting to see how we approach things. Because I mean, I watched the game; it wasn't great, but when you take in the context of everything, you know, you always want to get a win. Make sure you build up that momentum. The game looks a lot more fluid. I say, yeah, we had a couple of players interesting positions. Played back four this time, so that was interesting. Bit of controversy as well with Thiago Silva. It's a 50-50 decision in my opinion. Some people will say it's a red. I think it's a red. Some people don't think it's a red. It is what it is. But yeah, man, move on. Conor Gallagher with a mad goal. I don't know who we have next, but we'll see what goes on, man. It's just about getting the wins on the board right now with all the games coming up. And then for me, just the way I see it, because I know the issues with our team and I know what we're linked with. My hope is we just get a couple wins on the board, wait until January, and then if we make the additions, which I think we might make, and I hope we make, we'll be good for top four.
Interesting. Fair point. BILAL?
Yeah.
What's Brother Adrian saying?
Yeah, I echo a lot of the things.
First, he's been pleasant towards your club. First, like from a Chelsea fan, that's first gracious of him.
Yeah, no. To be fair, I think a lot of Chelsea fans with the new ownership that's come into Chelsea, they realize it's not the same as it used to be in terms of firing, hiring, spending money. Even though they spent quite a bit of money this summer. Yeah.
I think the thing with Chelsea, it depends on what spectrum you're on. I've just been tired of the way we've run in the last 5 years. Because if you looked at it from the first 10 years we've run the club and the last 10 years, we've dropped off massively. And I feel like a large percentage of that was, first of all, we weren't necessarily recruiting well, but we were also just continuously hiring and firing managers, and we weren't building any consistency. And when you're going against people like the Man City who were just getting 100 points, 99 points, 98 points, it was what's the word? It was a model that just didn't seem like it would work anymore. So I was one of those fans who looked at it was like, we need to move away from that. But that's just me, and I may be wrong. And I also thought that we needed to build a core, particularly because I feel like Jorginho has way too many deficiencies to play consistently in the Premier League. And some Chelsea fans don't like that opinion. But I think with the links I'm hearing in news articles about us going for a DM, I think the ownership, the manager, and everyone is trying to address that issue. And if we do, I think we'll be good. But yeah, sorry, you can keep going.
What DM do you think you guys would actually sign? Because obviously Declan Rice has always been the name. But to be honest, I'm not too sure if he's worth that kind of money.
Here's the thing. There are a couple of names who are linked over the summer because I think Tuchel really pushed for one in the last week. Because I think after Southampton, he finally started realizing that, we needed the midfield. It's kind of like Klopp. I don't know what happened with these two managers. They both had glaring issues with their midfield, and they both decided in the last minute to change their mind and be like, "No, we need a midfielder." But yeah, look, Edson Alvarez is the one which I've heard, and he's a baller, bro. He's such a baller. I've heard he's not great on the ball, but I've heard he's also improved on that aspect. He's from Ajax. I think he's so good. And another one we've been linked to is a guy from Gladbach. He's called like Kawaido Kone or something like that.
Yeah,
he's a baller as well, man.
Both very good players, my friend. Both very good players. We've been linked with both of them as well. More Kone than Alvarez.
Yeah,
both would be revelations in the midfield in Premier Leagues. In midfields in the Premier League. My words need to come out properly.
100%, man.
I need to calm down and start talking English. But nah, man, you're looking good. You're playing well. It was always vital to get a victory under your belt, first league game.
Potter's never won against Palace as well.
Interesting about the formation change, though.
Yeah.
So he definitely played 4 at the back, yeah?
Yeah, so it was Chilwell, Fofana, Thiago Silva, Reece James, which was interesting because Thiago Silva in the back 4, I wouldn't have expected it. And Palace actually causes problems in the first half. You can see, I think it was a bit of an adjustment period for the players as well because they're so used to playing in a back 3. I think we conceded an early goal. I gotta be honest, the midfield in that first 10 minutes was horrendous. Not protecting the back line at all. Feels like I'm talking about Liverpool, but I'm talking about Chelsea.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. Apart from that, I think once in the second half we adjusted it slightly with a midfield combination. I think once we did that, we looked a lot more solid. But again, it was just finding that goal. Aubameyang's finish was actually something I've been wanting at this club for a long time, man. Just that, that
great finish. Yeah,
that instinctive finish. Sometimes you just need that player just quickly go on the turn, swivel, knows where the back of the net is. It's just something we haven't had for a while.
That's what he's going to bring you. I said it to a Chelsea fan. I said Aubameyang will be a low-key, very good signing. Even though it will be short-term, it will be a very good signing for you guys. And obviously, if you can replace him with Nkunku next season, as is looking likely, you're in a good place, man. You're in a good place.
For me, with the Nkunku thing, look, it might not happen. It might happen. I'm not going to really talk about it. I think I've got my worries about him, but I also like the player, right? If he's playing up front, I think we need to provide the correct creativity to supply him. So there are a couple of players we've been linked with, but I just want to make sure we get the midfield sorted out. It's like a 1A, 1B situation. Sort out the midfield, then we can worry about all this attack stuff, because I do agree that the attack needs work. But first of all, focus on the midfield, get if let's just say these are profiles of players, I don't know if we'll get them. We've been linked to them. I think one of them's unrealistic at this point, but let's just say we go for Edson Alvarez and a Frenkie de Jong. I think that helps us a lot. And then we can follow it up next summer or the summer window and go in it and okay, let's bring in Nkunku. Let's bring in like an underrated baller, like a Cherky from Lyon or something like that. Just some ballers like that. I think focus on the midfield first, and then we'll bring in the attackers. That's just how I look at it.
And I think it's interesting as well that Conor Gallagher scored. And when Tuchel was there, Gallagher, I didn't think he'd get that chance at Chelsea.
He got misprofiled as Tuchel, in my opinion. I didn't understand why he was playing in the double pivot. Did not make much sense. He did that with a lot of players, to be honest. I didn't really understand why he played specific players in specific positions. Like Havertz, he played Havertz as a target man, which didn't really make much sense to me. And then he played Conor Gallagher basically as a Kante, and I didn't really understand why. I get that they're both in players which have intensity, but I think Gallagher is just much more proficient in the final third, and you saw today what he can bring to your team.
I think he'll be rejuvenated in the Potter. I don't think he would have got much of a look in under Tuchel. I think it was very clear, wasn't it, and apparent that he wasn't going to get much of a look in.
The issue for Gallagher, sorry to interrupt you, Grizz, but the issue for Gallagher is there is a young baller at Chelsea who might take his place. I'm worried for him because this Khanage kid, he's coming, man. He's coming, bro. He's an absolute baller. People talk about Jude Bellingham.
Did he get on today?
Jude Bellingham is amazing, but Khanage
No, has he made an appearance yet for Chelsea?
So here's the thing. He's been training under the first team. He's made some PL2 appearances. He's looked really good. And from what the reports are saying from Matt Law, there was those behind the scenes games.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And he's apparently been balling it out in training, and he scored a brace against Brighton. They had like a behind-the-scenes games in Brighton. Do you know when the suspension was? And he was apparently really good in that game. I'm interested to see what Potter does, man. There was some interesting stuff, like having a new player as a number 6, Kai Chukwuemeka, who's really balling out. I think it was him, Jude Bellingham, and Harvey Elliott. There was like that trio of English stars coming up, rising through the ranks. It's interesting to see if he'll get that chance and that opportunity, but I'm excited. That's the only thing. Like, if he comes in this team, I think some of the issues we had could be really interesting. Well, the injury thing it's interesting. Apparently he's ill. I don't know if he's injured. So we'll see. But
a few people in the chat saying he's ill, but Adrian, I'm calling you Adrian. Is it Adrian or Adrian?
Up to you, man. I don't mind, man.
So used to your goalkeeper, man.
No, I said Adrian because I'm so used to, you're so spot on, Bilal.
Yeah,
and you know what I mean. But big up Adrian as well for the charity work that he's been doing, the Liverpool goalkeeper, and big up yourself as well. Thank you very much for calling in, my friend. It's been nice speaking to you. It's good to see you're happy and you're content with your club, unlike others, including myself. But nice one. Look after yourself. Hope to chat to you.
You too, man. You too.
Take care.
Yeah, big yourself up, man.
Big up, man.
Big up.
Chelsea happy, Arsenal happy. I don't know who's going to be happy at the 2 Manchester clubs tomorrow. They might.
I need a Man City win. I don't even care if they come 1 point behind us, man. I'm tired of Man United fans.
Really?
I've never seen such a salty bunch of individuals.
Bilal, that's interesting.
Yeah, bro.
So you ain't believing in this title charge then?
No. I just want Man United to lose. I don't care.
Listen, Man United different. You gotta think different now.
No, I don't need this tactical points. We win our games. We beat Man City twice, then you win the league properly. Listen, I need to see Man United get punished.
You surely want Man City to drop points. You're in a title charge, my guy.
No. I'm sorry. I can't.
This shows your mentality. This is your club's mentality.
I can't.
This is your club's fault.
I can't sit there. No, I'm sorry. I can't sit there and watch and support Man United, man, for a day. No. Listen, Haaland, De Bruyne, I need that energy tomorrow. I need you guys to put them away.
Look, we got too many callers, man. I hope someone brings that up against you later on in the show. But let's bring on the next caller, man. Let's try to whiz through as many as we can. Guys, I'm going to try to get as many as I can, right? So please bear with me through. As I said, about the 12 of you in there waiting. Let's bring the next one, Jamie. Jamie, my man, what's going on, my brother?
Hey, what's up, fellas? Grizz, how you doing? How's the drive back from the game?
I'm not doing well, bro. The game's the game. It is what it is. I'm here. You know, duty calls. That's why I didn't do a Liverpool-specific show. I just done a generic call-in, but I understand people may want to speak about Liverpool. But
yeah.
It is what it is. How you doing?
I'm good. All things considered. I'll give Bilal his pleasantries.
Flowers.
On the result today. I had a buddy who actually moved out to London to continue with his Arsenal page on social media. My good friend, he was at the NLD today, so big up to my guy, Marcelo. You know, if you put a gun to my head and said, you know, someone else besides Liverpool has to win the Premier League, you know, if I'm dying and to save myself, I'd probably say Arsenal. I'm a hardcore guy. I'd rather, 20 teams lose if Liverpool can't win. But if I had to pick one, I'd say Arsenal. Good club, good fans. But, I'll get into it, man. That side pretty much exemplifies everything that I'm going to say. But avoidable, predictable, and stale. Avoidable. Why? It's not hyperbole that every single Liverpool fan knew we needed another body in the center midfield rotation. If it wasn't a starter, another body. Evident again today. We're starting off with manic pressing, looking like absolute Swiss cheese, translucent, light, specks of dirt, the planet Jupiter. Everything was getting through. And all in one area. Predictable. Why? Because it's the same area, it's the same place, it's the same region, it's the same fellas. And I love them. I love them for everything that they've done. But at the same time, right, like a lot of these guys on huge wages, hundreds of thousands of pounds per week. And I understand that, you get the excuse to have several bad games. But realistically, anyone in the Liverpool camp can honestly say, we're very, very close, 99% of the way there, maybe 95 and 90 if you're more of a glass half full type person, to saying the Premier League is a trophy that's going to be closed off. Whether the points tallies don't immediately say that someone has already guaranteed the Premier League trophy, it doesn't matter. Everyone knows the stakes. Everyone knows Man City. Everyone knows what kind of monster they are and how they're rolling. And, you know, stale. It's epitomized by the decision making at the top of the box 4 minutes in, right? I'm a coach for freshman boys, right? 14, 15-year-old kids. And the simplicity of the instructions that I give my back four is, if you are suffering pressure in any circumstance where they have as many guys as us in a region closer to our goal, I am totally fine with you hoofing the ball 20, 30 yards down the field, or give it out for a throw-in. The worst case, a corner. I don't care. Henderson, my man, top of the box. You just have to rip it. You just have to rip it. And it's just, it goes back into the, man, I've seen this so many times, so it's not even like I'm raging about it. And it just gets to me to the point where Jurgen Klopp is generational manager. And I think that we will win in between one more Premier League and one more Champions League in his tenure, right? However, I think
I'll take that. I'll
take that right
your
now.
hands.
Grizz, let me finish my point, right? Yeah. I think there is a fair argument to say, if we end up with 4 major trophies of 2 Premier Leagues and 2 Champions Leagues, right, at the end of Jurgen Klopp's tenure at 2026, I don't want the feeling to be that we look back and say we should have had 3 Premier Leagues and we should have had 3 Champions Leagues, right? And I'm fearful that this year for the Premier League, we still have 3 more trophies to go for, that's 1 year down, that we won't win it. And so that's me.
No, that I mean, by the way, I didn't mean to say cut you cool. Like, I'm saying, like, to your point about the league this season, it's over. Don't even think about the league. And I don't mean that in the sense of the points deficit is too much right now. I mean that in the state of the squad, physically, mentally, everything about it. But Bilal, this is why I got you on these shows, man, to give me the outsider's view, because we may be in this bubble and we will be having extremes of both sides. Drop points at home. We didn't lose. 2-0 down. We didn't win.
Yeah. Brighton
are a very good team. We know that. By far, one of the best teams that's come to Anfield in a long time. Like, they play some amazing. I was happy when we were 3-2 up. But I was like, Brighton don't deserve this, if you know what I mean. Because they balled us off that park. But what do you make of some of the points Jamie's made, man? Obviously, I'm going to look into it. Guys, before we go any further, 350 of you loving, amazing people in here. Smash, hit, tap, touch, whatever you want to do, that like button. Do what you got to do. I'm going to be giving, obviously, we're going to be diving deeper in RedFellas tomorrow about the game and whatnot. But Bilal, just some of Jamie's points, man.
Yeah, so Jamie, man, honestly, you made some great points there. Avoidable, predictable, stale, everything you said, to be honest, is kind of the way I'm looking at Liverpool as well, even from an outside perspective. And it's not even going just to the stale point. Today, watching Liverpool reminded me of, you know, when Klopp took over Liverpool, and Liverpool will score 3, but they could concede 3 as well. And that's the point. I feel like Liverpool are... today of the days, I think it should be clear to everyone, like, Liverpool need that second team to come in to rebuild and to get Klopp's second version 2.0 of what Klopp's actually done at Liverpool. For me, I'm looking at common things. I'm looking at Trent playing. He's playing inverted. He's coming all the way to the left side at times. I'm thinking, you know what? It's overcomplicating now what Trent's doing. You know, I feel like just stick to the basics. Salah's been high and wide. Just stick to what Salah's good at. He's an inside forward. Just get Trent up and down the line. Just get things as basic as possible to get the rhythm back into Liverpool. And I think now, maybe because of the midfield situation, and Fabinho, I think Fabinho as well suffering from a lot of things happening. I know people have been criticizing him, but I'm looking at the way Trent's playing, the positions he's taking up. He's probably thinking, okay, Trent's here. I need to probably be somewhere else. Oh, next to me in midfield, 1 minute's Henderson. Next minute he's hooked off is Harvey Elliott. Okay, what's going on here? For me, I'm looking at Liverpool right now, and it is like a very confusing situation. And one thing I was speaking to one of my friends before the Arsenal game, so this is way early in the morning, and I said, Klopp seems a little bit rattled to me. Yeah, this is the first time I've looked at Klopp and I'm thinking, you seem a little bit rattled. And after the game, he made a comment that confirmed to me he is a little bit rattled. And it was a point about Trent. He was talking about Trent, why he makes defensive mistakes, blah, 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 because he uses him as one of the highest pressing guys in his team. Cool. We all understand that. You don't need to explain it. And a lot of the time, what Klopp used to do, if a journalist gives him a question about Trent, he would just be like, well, that's a stupid question. I'm not going to answer that. And he would just bat it away. But the fact that he's now responding to these kind of things, I'm thinking, okay, something's changed here. And today after the game, he said, watching the game, Liverpool 3-2 up. He says, I wasn't 100% convinced we would actually keep the lead. And for me, that is damning. For him to be the manager standing there, he's seen the whole game. He knows his players. And he's looking at them thinking, you know what? He's got that feeling Grizz has, like Brighton deserves something, We've been a bit lucky here being 3-2 up, maybe, especially with his own goal that made it 3-2. He's thinking, okay, Klopp as a manager, though, thinking that, for me, that is kind of, I was astonished, to be honest, to hear him say that. And with the way you guys are playing at this moment in time, it's very open down, even both flanks, to be honest. But I feel like Klopp needs to just peel everything back, return things to as simple as possible, and you can, do something. And let me just say a positive point for Liverpool, because attacking wise, there's a lot of things I saw that were actually good. The direct style, when Liverpool play quick, they get the balls into the forwards. We saw, the likes of Firmino getting 2 goals. It's good. Salah, for the most part, attacking wise, looked good. He didn't get a goal, but at the end of the day, watching his performance, attacking wise, Liverpool showed a lot of good things. It's just that midfield, it's the defense, it's the overcomplicating of things. For me, I look at that and I think, okay, Liverpool and Klopp just need to take maybe a step back, look at the situation and just try and calm things down. Because right now, I know you got Arsenal next, so it's not an easy game, but still, you need to try and do something in that game that gives you at least a bit of a positive feeling. So yeah, that's my thoughts on Liverpool.
I don't see us winning the next 2 league games.
Who you got, Arsenal and
Man City?
Ooh, that's big.
That's going to be without a win in 3 league games. Hold on, 4. We didn't win against Everton. What was our score before that? Yeah,
you beat Ajax the week.
No, the league. Fuck the Champions League. I can't give a
Bournemouth
fuck about
9-0?
any other games right now.
Was it Bournemouth 9-0? No,
might have been the Newcastle.
Oh, was it 1-1?
We're gonna be without a win in 4, in my opinion. I think we'll get draws against both of you.
The two funny things is, right?
That'd be good results at this point if you got 2 draws like that.
I would take 2 draws right now. That's the indictment of my club right now.
The funny thing is with today's game, right, is with the Klopp comment, I 100% believe that he's being honest, because if you watch that game, we were lucky to not come away conceding 5 or 6. And that's God's honest truth. But the last thing I'll say, right, is the most ironic thing that could happen for us would be we get 2 scrappy wins against Arsenal and City, and then magically we have momentum again. I don't think it will happen, but that would be the funniest thing ever, to just get our hopes right back up again. You know what I mean?
Football does this, Jamie. Football does this. I'm not ruling it out. I'm not ruling it out, but I'm definitely not ruling it in terms of it's more likely to happen. But I'm not ruling it out, because that's what football does.
Yeah.
Like literally, that's what football does. It drags you from the depths of, misery and desperation to elation and joy, and then vice versa too. Yeah. Like literally, we were so close to completing jubilation as in terms of a fan, what a fan can enjoy supporting a club.
Yeah.
Yet so close, yet so far, and here we are now, 8th or something. 9th, about 10 points off the top or something, with a game in hand, maybe. I don't know. Who gives a shit right now? Yeah, it's a bit mental. It's a bit mental. But Jamie, thank you very much for calling in, my bro. I gotta keep it moving today. I got hella people wanting to talk, man. But we catch up real soon, my bro.
Thanks, everyone. Have
Yeah,
a great
bro.
rest of your day. Make sure to like this and subscribe. I'll see you guys later.
Thanks, Dad.
Yeah, take care, man.
Okay, next caller is, I believe, Aziz. He's a new caller as well, so I don't know which team he supports, but let's go. Aziz, welcome to the stream, my friend.
What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm doing.
I've always been a fan of you, you know what? I'm a Chelsea fan. I always love the way you Liverpool players used to play previous season than this season. Because I see Liverpool and Chelsea, we both have the same issues. The middle is the problem. Especially Chelsea, because I know Liverpool's the kind of team, if they win 2-3 straight games, they can go unbeaten for like, you understand what I'm saying? I don't believe Chelsea can do that, especially if you have a player like Jorginho. I don't know with all this. I'm a realistic Chelsea fan. Jorginho, Mounts are the two problems in Chelsea. Jorginho plays against Chelsea. I don't know if it's me, I'm the one seeing it, or other players are seeing it. You said it before in other channels before, 90 Minutes Sports. You said it before. Jorginho, because the way the coach wants to play this formation is playing a 4-2-2-2. So now you need your two midfielders to be very hardworking and to be very fast in throwing the passes so your wingers can operate. Jorginho is so slow. Your Sterling is free. Havertz is free. Jorginho is passing back. Like, what the fuck? Sorry, I'm cursing.
No, you're good. You're good. All systems go. All systems go.
I can't wait for Jorginho to leave. I can't. You know, I'll tell you the truth. You know, I'm so used to Chelsea losing and messing up this season. I was expecting to lose today. Or minimum a drop. That's I'm a realistic Chelsea fan. I'll tell you the truth. I've been supporting Chelsea since 2003. I know when we had the likes of BILAL, Lampard in the midfield.
Yeah, good days.
That would die for you.
Big ballers.
Yeah. I end up having Jorginho. And with the Messi Mount, this guy has been poor for so long this season. I don't know why coaches are still using him. I understand he charges and do all this other stuff, but this guy is poor. He was poor again today. I don't know why you're using him. Give other players chance. Zakaria is there. I don't know why that guy can't get into the team if Jorginho is getting into the team. At least Zakaria is a defensive midfielder.
I don't know, you know. I don't think Zakaria is he a defensive midfielder?
He is. His profile's a bit weird. It's box to box sometimes. One time, I don't really rate him. To be honest, I don't rate him as a player that much. I don't think he's that good.
Better than Jorginho. Anything better than Jorginho, I would take.
Wow. I mean, I know he's quicker and he's more powerful, but he's not technically great.
He's slow. He can't do anything because, okay, reason why I said Jorginho doesn't fit this formation. Because you are playing two holding midfielders, so you don't have any player protecting you no more. Any mistake you do, because Palace were passing our midfield like Eze and the rest of the guys were just penetrating through our midfield. Thanks to Thiago Silva and Fofana and Kepa. Sterling today, I don't even know. I don't know. Maybe that Sterling we bought from Man City. I don't even know. Maybe when he wears the Chelsea jersey. Some players I just don't know. But today I'm happy for Aubameyang coming in to score. Because I've been calling for a striker all these years. Not Kayava playing in a, you understand what I'm saying? Playing as a striker. That's not his position. You played all these players in different positions. Now they don't even know their position no more. For the first 13 minutes, those guys were stranded. They don't even know what to do because they're not used to the back four no more.
You sound for someone whose team won today, you still sound a bit frustrated.
That we were
fraudulent win, that's what it was.
Was you lucky? Was it lucky, yeah?
We were lucky. I'm a realistic fan to you. I'll tell you the truth. I was happy we won the 3 point because I don't know what I'll do today because the last time Chelsea lost that first game against Zagreb, was it Zagreb we played in Champions League?
Yeah, Zagreb, yeah.
To go watch. You know when you call in sick. I called in sick to watch that stupid shit.
All I'm saying, Aziz, all I'm saying is I wish we could have got a lucky win today. When we were 3-2 up, I was thinking, I don't know how we are.
You know what? I'd rather take Liverpool's position. You know why?
Oh, really?
I've been in this position before. Liverpool can go out there. It's just a matter of beat Arsenal next week. No. There's something I always respect about Klopp and his team. Klopp has a mentality of we can win 10 straight games, 11 straight games. Did you watch last season? Did you watch seasons before? You know that mentality is built in them. They can turn up any day, you understand, win 10 straight games, 11 straight games, and catch up with Arsenal. You know what? Why I'm not really concerned with Arsenal? I've seen Arsenal doing this before. 2015.
He's not convinced with Arsenal, Bilal.
2013. 2017. Chelsea catch up on them. I won the league on them. So these are stuff I've seen with Arsenal before. Arsenal has to give me like 15 straight games, like win. You understand what I'm saying? For me to be convinced. I'm not really convinced because these Arsenal teams, because they don't have that winning mentality in them. They are winning right now. They are winning, but let them lose one other big game. Let's see how they react.
Bilal?
Yeah, no. Well, I understand his point because even I think I said it last week. Listen, I've seen Arsenal be top of the league in February and January, and then it go to pot. But is there an echo or anything?
No, it was gone. Let's see.
Yeah,
it might be. You're gone. I'll mute it.
Yeah.
I'll mute Aziz. Maybe it's him. Gone.
Yeah, no. So basically, what I believe with Arsenal is, and with Arteta in general, this is a kind of a thought I had today, was like, Arteta, I feel like he's looked at the negative points of Arsene Wenger. In terms of Wenger, remember the teams Arsenal and the players Arsenal used to have? You could have your Ozil, your Sanchez, Ramsey, Wilshere. Theo Walcott was a good player. Before that, you'd have the Nasris, Rosickis, Helebs, Fabregas. But what was the missing point of all these teams is always a defense. And Arteta, his first thing when he came to Arsenal was that he brought a centre back, he brought the left back, he brought he's brought the right back, he's brought the goalkeeper, the defense, he's brought the DM that for years Arsenal fans were crying out for. There was that one season back in the day with Alex Song, and he had an unbelievable season for 1 year. And Arsenal, like, that's the defensive midfielder that we've always needed, someone who can break up the play, link up the team together, get assists from time to time. But with what Arteta's done now, he's taken the bad points of Wenger, and I think he's kind of fixed them in that sense. Obviously, it's not fully fixed in terms of maybe squad depth, in terms of the defense. Yes, maybe that could be improved. A new left centre back, as maybe we're talking about Gabriel, is he really on that level to be someone next to Saliba for the next 5 to 10 years? Who knows? Maybe he is, maybe he's not. He's still young. But I think Arteta has learned from the negatives of Wenger, and he's building on that. He started from the back, built the foundation, and now finally he brought his first striker and attacker, like stroke winger, in Jesus. And now we're starting to see Arsenal ticking. The midfield is looking good. I think Arsenal may be winning the title this year. Let's be honest, like, that's with Man City in this league. I don't think anyone can put their chest out there and say they're going to win. And if it was a normal year with Leicester, not a normal year, but if it was a season where Leicester were there, then cool. But this is Manchester City. Everyone's trying to fight here. But in terms of Arsenal, and I see your point, Aziz, about, okay, you've seen Arsenal in the past. They've been top. They've fallen away and finished like second or third. Yeah, we've seen that before. But I just think there is a bit of a difference with how Arteta has built the team compared to Wenger. Wenger, for me, used to do the job 50% in terms of when we moved to the Emirates. And maybe that was because of the money situation as well. The civil war at Arsenal with the Kroenkes, with the Usmanovs, until that ended in like 2018 when Kroenke took out brought the whole club. Cool. But yeah, I just think there is a little bit of a difference with what Arteta's trying to build. The results aren't here yet in terms of trophies, but we're only gonna know the answer to that with time. So we're gonna have to wait on that one. But yeah, I hear your point 100%.
Aziz, is there anything else that you wanted to speak about?
Okay, I want to ask you a question. So how many years would you give Arteta to win a trophy? How many years would you give Arteta to win a trophy at Arsenal?
Arteta, I think if this season goes well, let's say minimum the target this season was to finish in top 4 Champions League. I think he'll probably get at least another 2 to 3 years after that Arsenal to try and do something, as long as he's still consistently in the Champions League and the team's still pushing on. So yeah, for me, I would give Arteta around, if he has to finish in the top 4. If he doesn't finish in top 4, then that's a sackable offence this season. Minimum, you get Champions League football and you build from there. Because going from 5th to winning the league is a bit unrealistic. But getting top 4 this season has to be done. And when that is done, then he can start winning the 2 major trophies that we talk about, the Premier League and the Champions League. Of course, yes, Arteta's won the FA Cup, the Community Shield, but I think your question's more about the Premier League and Champions League. That's the target. I think the next 2 to 3 years, finish off building the squad. Then you've got the likes of your Sakas, your Martinelli's getting a bit older, and all of these players coming together. Then, yeah, I think after this season, 2 to 3 years, that's my answer. Like a proper Premier League and hopefully one day that Champions League that we've been starving for. You guys have seen that. I've not seen that. I've seen us just get heartbreak in that competition. But yeah.
Aziz, my brother, it's been very nice.
You have a nice day.
Listen, very nice of you to call in. Thank you, man. We speak soon. Take care, my bro.
Sir.
All right.
Take care, bro. Take care.
Look at you, man. Talking about leagues and Champions League, man.
Oh,
I don't understand life anymore.
Yeah. Listen, man. Arsenal can't be that down bad for forever, man. The same as Man United as well. That's why you got to get your digs in while you can, because like a team like Man United is going to come back.
It's fair play to you, lot. It's taken you a long time, but you was always going to come back. I mean, I disagree with you in terms of the Champions League and Premier League. Like I think you should obviously put a lot of emphasis on the domestic trophies and the Europa League, for example, and then see how far you can finish in the league. That still should be your target for me personally for the next 2 seasons. Just keep progressing.
Yeah, I hear that. But if Arsenal finish, let's say Arsenal finish second this year, like if you finish second again, you didn't win a trophy the next year, then that's not really any sort of progression. And with the team at the age it's at, and with a few players that I would say Arsenal need to complete the squad in terms of you feel like you have a squad that's able to challenge. I think another summer transfer window. One good summer transfer window in terms of getting a new left centre back in, getting a new defensive midfielder, getting in another winger hopefully, and getting those 3 players, I would say, getting them into the team. Then you can start saying, okay, just those 3 players alone, that should start pushing you. And I think that's the point. Liverpool were at that kind of point where you just needed like one player to come in and just replenish the squad. But it's got to the point now, I think, with Liverpool where a lot of people are looking at it saying you probably need like 3 new midfielders. You probably need another winger, maybe another striker even. Who knows? It's got to that point. You don't want to go to that point, because when you go to that point now, you're starting a whole new project, you're starting a whole new rebuild. The timelines get longer. But for me, I just think this season, minimum, get that Champions League. That's the target. People talking about winning the title, that wasn't the aim at the beginning of the season. The aim was just to finish in the Champions League positions. But if you can get more than that, win the FA Cup, as you said, win a Europa League. For me, to be honest, I don't really care about the Europa League. But if you do win it, cool. But yeah, for me, just get that top 4 in the next 2 to 3 years. You've got to push and you've got to win one of those big trophies, in my opinion.
Fair enough. Ocean says, Grizz, I love you, my brother. Arsenal fan here. Listen, I don't know if that's a sympathy love vote or if you genuinely love me. Maybe sympathy, because we didn't win today. It felt like a loss. We might as well have lost. And you guys are flying high. But if it's genuine love, I love you too, bro. I love you too. Pep's profoundly prodigious, says Ocean. Grizz loves Arsenal too, mate. I wouldn't go that far. There's some healthy respect. Let's get the next caller in, man. I don't even know who's next. 1 second. Who's next? Victor is next. Let's get Victor up in the stream. Victor, my brother, hope you're doing well.
I'm good. How are you doing as well?
Well, man, I'm good here, bro. I'm right sat opposite you, but I'd rather you, man, talk, man.
At least you're alive, man.
Yeah, man, I'm alive. Family's good.
Healthy,
Yeah,
fine.
man. Yeah, we got fresh water. We got head over our roof. God is great. Everything's good, man. The rest is just a bonus. Our football teams are just a bit of bonus for us, man.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm here. I was going to talk about Liverpool, but I'm a Chelsea fan, but I want to talk about what the other guy said. I want to be a bit more positive. I saw today's games as a big positive because we don't create as many chances as we did today. We had a lot more shots on target than I think we've done all season, which in my opinion is very positive. And then our play was quite fluid in the first half, a bit in the first half. But second half we got boring, but we did play a lot better. And his take on, I agree that Mount needs to go because Mount is probably our most replaceable player because all he does is just run. Like all he does is just run and then press.
Send him to Liverpool. That's a top player there, if I've ever seen one.
You'll be as frustrating as Henderson. Trust me, he's not that good. Jorginho as well. I don't like the disrespect on Jorginho's name. He was the only one who was actually making progressive runs forward and actually finding Aubameyang and Havertz. I don't understand where Jorginho here is. Yes, he is slow, but he is slow. But as well as that, that's probably we know by now from 4 years into having Jorginho that he's not a defensive midfielder. He's not that kind of like Fabinho where he just bites people off the ball. He doesn't do that. He physically can't do that. So I think some of us with fan base have accepted that's it. And then I think moving forward, I think this is probably a good step into our season where I wouldn't say we didn't deserve the win, but we definitely did deserve to lose because I think it was equal. The goal was very good.
So he came on as sub, yeah. Just remind us, he came on as sub. He came
on as a sub, yeah, and then he scored, yeah. So yeah, again, good subs from Potter because after that we also controlled the game a bit more and stopped the counter attack. So it was just positive all around to see where Potter is trying to lead us to and where the football we're playing forward because we've been playing for the past year. We've been playing horrible football, like it's been hard to watch. So it's just a breath of fresh air. And I'd rather be. He said rather be in Liverpool's position. No, I'd rather be in our position right now because at least we're planning on looking at the future, and then we also have the money as well to do it. Like the Nkunku deal looks like it's going ahead. Like we're already thinking ahead of everyone. Like what City did last year with Haaland, starting the hard bit now, and then working the clause at the end of the summer so he can come in, which is very good business. And then looking also in the future so that, especially in the midfield, bringing in Chukwuemeka and then Zakaria, and then looking at Alvarez again in January, trying to revamp the midfield is good as well.
No, fair enough, man. You sound like a very content man, and I think you should be. I think you've had your upheaval, you've had your bit of uncertainty with the ownership and everything. I guess you're probably a director of football away from having a bit of calmness. Would you say, Bilal, as well?
Yeah, 100%. They need that director of football in. If they could have got that Dan Ashworth, who ended up at Newcastle, coming in with who was at Brighton, if he went into Chelsea with Potter, that would have been dangerous. But Newcastle did their job there, getting him in. But let's talk of what's his name? His name's not Phil Mitchell. That's the EastEnders character, man. The guy at Monaco, something Mitchell.
Paul Mitchell.
Paul Mitchell. Yeah, exactly. That's the one. They were talking about him. Luis Campos was another guy because he's not fully tied down to PSG. He works. He's like a freelancer right now. He's working with Celta Vigo, PSG. If Chelsea just can get someone in to help them with the transfers and get the power away from Todd Boehly, then they could be onto something there. Because
it's not power, is it? But Boehly's going to give the power to a director of football, to a qualified person, right?
Yeah, but from what I understand with the ownership, like Boehly, he is the front man, but there's a lot of people who put money into Chelsea as well. So he's just one of those guys. So it's not like he's
the main one, isn't he?
He's the main face of everything.
He runs the day-to-day. He runs the day-to-day operations, and then the clear capital, like people actually fund Chelsea. So that's how it works.
Yeah, so he needs to just find someone to come in as a director to help them out. And I like your point on Jorginho. Listen, for me, I've always rated Jorginho, man. I feel like it's because he's at Chelsea, and Chelsea, sometimes the football they play, it's been like
he's a good player. He's technically very nice.
He's very good.
His possession stats are amazing. His percentage completion pass rate, all of that business, I get it. His weight of pass is good. I get it. He reminds me a lot of. He hasn't got quite the long range passing of Xabi Alonso that Xabi Alonso used to have. Xabi Alonso used to be able to do the switch, eyes closed. But where I'm going with this, with the Xabi Alonso comparison, is I think to be a elite, no, okay. I think you have to have a lot of pace and power.
And he was just going to come in. The physical side of Jorginho is his major weakness in terms of he can get brushed off the ball.
So was Alonso's. All right, Alonso wasn't as powerful or strong or as quick as I would have liked. Now, who gives a fuck what I would have liked? But I'm saying, like, my version of an elite player. Don't get me wrong, but Alonso's world class. Jorginho's very good, but to be that elite, I think both of them lack the dynamism to be elite. That's just my opinion, and I think Jorginho's in that category.
That's why, to be fair, Thomas Partey at Arsenal right now, he's kind of got the complete package. I know his injuries, that's what's been killing him, but when he is fit, the passing range, the physical presence, the tackling, he's kind of got the complete. Big up, man. Partey's kind of got that package there. Rodri's another guy. He's got that stature about him as well. I know at the beginning the mobility was a bit of an issue, but he's grown into that role. Of course, the top guys like your Busquets, he was never the quickest, but because of the size of him and how he can navigate himself, he's always done something there. And of course, Xabi Alonso for me, unbelievable player.
No. I mean, people are saying that. I'm not comparing the two in terms of quality. Like Alonso was far better, but what I meant was stylistically and in terms of what was missing from their game to be elite. In terms of Alonso's case and world class for Jorginho. So for Jorginho to be known as a world class player, I think he lacks the dynamism. I think Chelsea fans would admit that probably.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
And I think with Liverpool fans, I always had the argument. I've been having these arguments for the last 10 years about Alonso. I never called him elite because I said he lacked dynamism. That doesn't mean every player has to have dynamism. I get it, but I think what stopped him from being elite.
Yeah, no. If you add that with the technical qualities of like a Jorginho and Xabi Alonso, then that's a super player there. That's going to be top one, top.
Yeah, because in
two,
midfield you need to move up and down a lot, and you need to at least keep up the pace with everyone else who's also playing opposition midfield. So I get Grizz's point, but we also need to move on from him because I reckon his head is in Italy. Reports have been coming out that he's a bit homesick, and he's also trying to run down his contract, so Juve can actually afford to buy him. So I think his head is just probably somewhere else as well.
No, fair enough. Yeah. It looks like sections of London's fan bases are very happy tonight and content. For sure, Arsenal. And I think Chelsea, you guys are seeing light at the end of the tunnel, right?
Definitely. We're seeing it now. A few weeks ago, got on the title, it was looking quite peak. It was looking like a long day because the football wasn't improving.
Yeah.
And then he kept on playing the wrong players in the wrong position. And I'm like, this can't carry on. People were kind of Tuchel in and Tuchel out, but before he actually could get there, he was already gone. So I guess now there is kind of a light at the end of the tunnel.
What are we saying to this?
No, yeah, I agree. I think Partey's clear. Or I think the only
who's his competitors
in the Premier League. I'd say
he says in London. He said Partey is the best six in London.
In London, no one.
I
don't rate Declan Rice. I don't rate Declan Rice that much. So for me,
he's better than Kovacic.
Kovacic is not a number 6.
No,
though,
6 is he?
He's more of an 8. So someone who can play that DM lone pivot by himself and dominate a midfield. For me, it's Partey.
Palhinha at Fulham.
No. I saw that guy, yellow card merchant. That guy, man. I don't know how many he's got so far. No, he's not. He's not on the level of Partey. Partey's up there. Partey's up there with Rodri as the 2 best DMs probably in the league in terms of what they offer and how.
Right now, do you mean right now or in general?
Well, right now in general,
because you can't say Fabinho can't just be like left.
Nah, Fabinho, yeah. In terms of on the ball, Fabinho's never been that guy. Fabinho's been someone who always uses his brain. Really? Fabinho's been someone who always breaks up the play at the crucial moments. That's the Fabinho I know. But in terms of actually dominating the ball and being a number 6 who can control a midfield fully, that's not Fabinho. For me, Rodri and Partey are that.
In 1920, he controlled that Liverpool midfield really well. I think he was up there. Like he was. In 19
was good.
But let me tell you now before we. Well, I mean, obviously we're gonna dig into the Liverpool show tomorrow on my channel, but Yeah, man. Fabinho is going to get a bollocking from me. Continuation of a bollocking. Let me tell you
I
that.
didn't
for a
watch the
fact.
game, so I can't say. So
Yeah. Trust me. Fabinho is not looking great right now. He's looking like his legs have gone. If this is after a 3-week break, but I don't want to digress and start talking about Liverpool. Chelsea look good, man. Who played left back? Because Chilwell.
Yeah. He wasn't great because obviously he's not been playing football for months now. He's still getting to it, but he was all right. He played. He did his thing at left back. Like,
who was your man of the match?
That's a tough one. Personally, I'll say he's either between Thiago Silva and Reece James. Like,
Thiago Silva apparently should have got a red card. No,
I think the way they look at it.
Be honest, Victor. Be honest with us.
The way
We're your friends.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to say the truth. It looked like he was like stopping to get the ball, but you know when players like trying to get a foul, they like try and go over the ball. So what he did was try to get over the ball.
I'll get the picture up. It looks like a red card, man. From the picture.
No, you can't look at picture, man.
Yeah,
you can. You can.
Don't be a cheapskate like that. Don't be a cheapskate like that. You can't look at a picture.
Bro.
People in the chat, if anyone saw that incident, quick yes, no, was it a red card?
People looking at the pictures when he looked like he went to like grab the ball, stop the counter attack. That's not what he did. He thought it was a foul, and then when players think it's a foul, and then trying to cover up the ball so it doesn't go get a counter. That's what he's trying to do. He's trying to get the ball, and then Ayew kick the ball forward ahead of him.
Free Gangster says it's another orange card situation where it's like,
nah, that's a red then. You can't be. It's either yellow or red, man.
It's not red. I think if in freeze frame without any context, it looks like he's trying to stop him with his hand. But if you look at the play,
it's looking suspicious, man.
If you look at the play before it, then you understand why he did it.
Bro, that I don't know, man. A picture.
I mean,
tells
a comment
1,000 words.
says, people are saying more. People are saying red than no one's saying no. So they're saying red or orange, which suggests like. Do you know what I mean? That's where they're
always hated, man. Chelsea always hated.
Oh, here we go. 1,000. That's quite definitive, man. That's quite definitive. Straight red, clear red. Yeah, man. I don't even
consensus, man. It's a red, man. I'm sorry.
No, always hated.
But listen, you got away with it. So you got away with the red card. You took the 3 points. Who cares? Gallagher got a goal as well. It was absolutely.
Yeah, man. You move on.
Yeah,
Victor. Thank you very much for calling, my friend. We got to keep it moving, man.
Thank you for having me on. And for Liverpool, for you, I want to say that there is going to be a light at the end of the tunnel for you because I think FSG might wake up now and realize, okay, we're in big trouble. Maybe you needed this for FSG to wake up.
I don't know if it's an FSG problem, bro. It's deeper than that.
I think
it's not something one or two players will fix, in my opinion. I think we need more right now. I don't know. I'm too scrambled to be giving analysis on Liverpool right now. I'm going to think about it. And then come on my channel. In fact, I've got a rated debate show. I've got my player ratings coming up 11 o'clock tonight. So Liverpool people, make sure you join me for that. But Victor, we catch up soon, my friend. Look after yourself. All right, take care.
You got, bro.
Michael is next. Let's get Michael in the chat. Yo, what are you saying?
How you guys doing?
Doing good, bro. Doing good. I'm doing good. How about you? Come back from your holidays.
I'm doing fine. Yeah, that was much needed vacation. Much needed. First of all, the Paulinho slander got to stop. I don't understand. I don't like you calling my guy a yellow card merchant. That's disrespectful. Respect Paulinho.
Rough guy.
Second of all,
rough guy.
Wanting us to lose tomorrow, calling our fan base salty. I'm not going to talk about Arsenal fans complaining about the referee decisions from a month ago still. But anyway, enough of Arsenal. Title challengers, by the way. Don't run. Because I remember on the Young Bucks, you run from that. So remember that. Title challenges Arsenal. Don't run from the allegation.
Well, I don't know. So, Michael, I want you to hook him up on this point that he made earlier. I don't know if he was here when he was talking about tomorrow's result. I don't understand his mentality. He's looking for a Man United loss today, regardless of whatever happens. When you're going for the title, your title challengers are Man City.
Pretty much every time City drop a point, forget even if City lose. If City drop a point, you got to be celebrating because they don't drop points often. So every opportunity that they drop points, especially with the World Cup coming up.
So what's this mentality about, BILAL?
They're hating on us.
I'm hating. I'm not here trying to watch Rashford and all those guys being happy for another week, man. I need Haaland, De Bruyne, put them in their place. Man City, they'll probably lose 2 times to Tottenham or something this year. They'll go play Palace again. Southampton, they lost there last year. They've got to play us. Man City will lose, but for this game, come on, it's just one game, 3 points.
Because if we do win tomorrow,
I'm tired. Now, Man United fans are too happy for my liking right now, man. I'm hearing Dalot's the best right back in the Premier League. I'm hearing this Andrew
Yeah,
Martinez.
but why'd you care? But why'd you care?
Nah,
See,
I
this is what I
care.
mean.
I care. I care.
Yeah,
I'll be
because you're a
honest, I care.
social media club. This is what I mean about you. You need to get away from the social media influence type thing and look at the pitch. You're not looking for trophies. You're looking for the title. Fuck all this. People on Twitter calling Dalot world class or whatever. Martial is this and that. Fuck all that.
I don't care. I'll be celebrating every time Haaland scores. I'm there. I'm enjoying.
Shameless.
Listen, if United somehow got a point or something, cool. I'll take it. Okay, Man City drop points, but I'm gonna be there hating on Man United, man. I'm gonna keep it real.
Fair enough, my downfall. Fair enough. Yeah, nah. This game tomorrow, I'm a little confident. I don't like that. I'm confident.
Oh,
that
shit.
That comes back to bite me. But Martial coming back, got me hyped because I see the training pictures. He's smiling today. The club briefs came out that he's itching to play tomorrow. Rashford's back, player of the month. It's a little exciting, and it's a formula that we're gonna play tomorrow. I'm assuming the way that we're gonna play is a formula that we've used before to beat them. And Pep, there's always players that always score against Pep. It's Rashford, it's a Son. Those kind of players always bang against Pep. So assuming that they play tomorrow, I'm a little confident. But long before Haaland's gonna score some free goal and they're gonna beat us. So God knows, that guy's an alien of a player.
What's the situation with your injuries then? Because obviously there's mixed reports this week. What's the latest from the reliable sources saying?
What I know, Ten Hag finessed all of us because no one knew that Martial was training all week. No one knew about that. People were saying that him and Rashford are major doubts, but then yesterday in his press conference, he came out and said that Martial's been training all week. Rashford's back. I always expected Rashford to play because he's the type of player that will play through any injury, especially for a Manchester derby. He's going to be out for that, so he's going to play no matter what. But Martial, it's good to hear. I don't think he'll start because he hasn't played a game since that Liverpool game, so he's definitely not match fit in a way.
But how long is that though? How long, how long does he have to be training for to get a start? Because surely he needs to start. If he's been training all week, you're looking at minimum 3 training sessions he's had.
Mm-hmm.
And then
you can't throw him into a Manchester derby.
Huh?
You can't throw him in. You can't throw Martial in 1 week.
Any other player, I'd say yes, but Martial, you have to manage his minutes because he's very injury prone. So
you
one tackle right away in the first 5 minutes.
Because that's vital for you guys, man. I've said it before. I don't see Sancho or Anthony have an impact on this game.
Elanga needs to start. That's who needs to start.
I know United exactly. Michael's going to have a fit about this, but Elanga in the big games doesn't. He's done it.
Yeah, you need that. You need that on the.
Okay, but Sancho also scored against you though.
Pace, running in behind. It's the only thing that worries City. It's the only thing that worries City, in my opinion. Pace and directness in between, in behind the lines.
Yeah, I agree with that. I said either one of Rashford. So if Rashford wasn't ready to go, I'd say Elanga throw him in, put him in. I'd be fine with that. But since Rashford, I think is ready to go, I'd pick a Rashford. My front 3 tomorrow would be Sancho, Rashford. The same one again that we played against Arsenal. Arsenal and City.
Sorry, Sancho, Rashford,
and Anthony. That's the front 3. And then I would throw Martial in to start the second half.
What are you doing in that midfield? Because I've said in the week, I think you need Casemiro and McTominay in there to have any chance.
I'm going with the same midfield that we use against Arsenal.
McTominay, Fred Eriksen.
McTominay,
who played McTominay, Eriksen, Bruno.
See, that's what I'm saying. So all this hype about the man,
£60 million,
myth, the legend, Champions League winner, mentality guy who knows how to play at the highest level. You bring him in for the hardest game in Premier League football is away to Etihad right now, and you're playing McTominay ahead of him.
He's in good form.
They're
doing comps of McTominay, man. They're saying he's the next new regime.
But hear me out, lads. Hear me out. The reason why I'm going in this direction is this is what football fandom, and this is why I tend not to go overboard either way when I give my opinions and reactions to teams and players and whatnot. This guy was ridiculed, wanted out of the club. I'm pretty sure Michael was cussing him down one time as well on here, right? And I was saying McTominay can do a job, people. You have to isolate the guy in that system, under that coach, under the culture of that club where he was playing. It was ridiculous under Ole, and he didn't have a clue what his role was, and I don't think Ole had a clue. But every time I used to see him, I used to think he's got something. It's not technically amazing. He hasn't got the silky eye for a pass. He hasn't got the touch. He won't drag the back. He's not a Thiago or a Bruno Guimaraes type player. You know, he's not going to do that. But if you pair him up in the right system, he'll give you something, and he's giving you something right now, people. And Man United fans are slowly in my messages and saying, you know what, Grizz, yeah, you said something about McTominay over a year and a half ago when he was in the dumps. I don't know, man. I think he's your like, you know, we had young Henderson who was ridiculed and sold by every fan. People obviously seeing Henderson now, and he's like a shadow. He's like, Henderson can't be starting for Liverpool right now. Okay, the state he's in. But Henderson of 3-4 years ago, most Premier League teams would have taken Henderson, the one that won us the Champions League. Not won us, but you know what I mean. Part of a team that was crazy efficient. I think McTominay can be part of that team. You got to remember, your history, Michael, is full of players under Fergie that no one talked about. Darren Fletcher would have been ridiculed in this day and age. Darren Fletcher would have been chewed up and spat out by social media right now. But you speak to Fergie, well, you know what I mean, unless he's your uncle, you ain't speaking to him. But like, you hear Fergie speak about Darren Fletcher, and you think, okay, the way this guy's speaking about him, maybe he was something. Even Michael Carrick, I loved him, but a lot of people are thinking, sideways passer, this and that, man. What's he doing? He wouldn't pick a team without Michael Carrick. So it's not always about, this is what I'm telling my little brother Bilal. It's not about social media and this matter. Focus, man, focus. You lot going for the title. Stop this Arsenal gassing up their play. Man United are gassing up the players. Let them.
No. Two teams I'm never backing is Tottenham and Man United, man. These two teams, man, I would rather ice, like freeze earth, than me back them in anything. So that's the way.
So no. Okay, so okay, let's say it's April and Arsenal and we play Man City, for example. Arsenal really need Man City to lose, and we beat them. What are you saying?
Listen, I'll just say thank you, innit? But I'm not happy. I'm not happy that you won, but I'll take it. As I said, if you get the result and it's there, listen, I'm not gonna back it. But if it's there, cool, I'll take it. But I'm not gonna go out of my way to be like, listen, please, Man United, can you get a result against Man City, please? No chance, man, no chance whatsoever. But that's a great point Grizz made about, you know, these unconventional kind of players that maybe the fans don't even a player like Granit Xhaka, for example. I was always on his case.
Again, another example.
I was always on his case, but every manager at Arsenal's used him. Some wrongly, in my opinion, when they've tried to play him in a more deeper position where he does get exposed, becomes a trigger press for the other team. Now Arteta's put him in a position where, you know what, he's further up the pitch. He can use his brain because he's a smart player, find little pockets and link things up and get in the box sometimes. Now we're starting to see maybe what Granit Xhaka can really do, because we see it for Switzerland. He's kind of that guy where he does what he wants in that midfield and he shows his quality. And at Arsenal now with Arteta, he's giving him that platform. Sometimes you just need a manager to come in and change a player and change their mentality, give them a role that they can do. Mourinho gave McTominay his chance. He loved him. Now Ten Hag's got him in. He's got Casemiro, but still McTominay's going to be his guy. Because why? McTominay's probably understanding what Ten Hag's asking him to do. And for me, I look at that and I say, if you guys can lock it down in the middle, don't let, you know, Man City work you in the half spaces, drag you out. You know, you could actually maybe find some success because your fullbacks this season. I know I was saying United fans are saying Dalot's the best right back in the Prem, but to be fair, he's been playing good. And Malacia is another player I've been very impressed with. If you guys can lock down Grealish, which I believe Dalot can, you know, on his side, and whoever they're going to play on the right side, maybe Grealish might not even play that game. Maybe he goes with Foden on the left wing. But I think those kind of individual battles, Man United have a chance of winning them. But the problem is with Man City, as we've seen, is that one ball to Haaland, Cancelo comes in, it starts the little space you give, and boom, the magic happens for Man City. But yeah, United. If I was a United fan, you got to be quietly confident because you've turned over Man City a few times, and Man City have shown that maybe even more vulnerable this season to transitions, to counters than even previous seasons. With likes of Walker, who got injured recently, Stones should be out for this game. Bro, it's fair game. It's fair game right now.
That's a good point because, like, what's it called? Will McTominay, like, I was his biggest hater, arguably, on social media. but he's fair enough. But I underestimated Ten Hag's ability to work with players. I don't know what he did in that lap. He cooked them up like he's Steve Rogers right now. It's a whole
See how he's bigged up Ten Hag, and he hasn't said, yeah, you know what, I underestimated Grizz's talent. ID, you know what I mean?
It's very hard for me to give McTominay props. That's the farthest we'll go with McTominay props. It's very hard.
This is a problem a lot of people have with their egos and prides, man. I've been through that shit, man. I'm telling you, man. You have to sometimes open up and admit, yeah, man. You know what I mean? Sometimes maybe I was wrong. Maybe the guy is something.
Jury's still out because it's still early in the season. I got to see how much more McTominay plays.
I think he was your most consistent performer out of a shit bunch last time as well. When you wasn't there, it was light work for me. I always thought McTominay, even if he's shit, at least he's fucking physical and strong, and he's
true. No, that is true. You know, I'll give him that.
Otherwise, but yeah, no, of course it's early days.
I understand why people were frustrated with him because there were loads of games you watch McTominay and it's like he's hiding from the ball. It's like you're not making yourself available for a pass. You do realize you are actually.
I think there's certain players in the world football that they need a manager to like really like help them. Like they need the instructions down to a T for them. Like some of them just don't like think of themselves. I think McTominay is someone that just needs clear instructions on where to be, what to do. So I think Fred's the same way. So I think he finally has that manager and a Ten Hag that will get the best out of him and his abilities. And if he keeps playing like this, I have no problem with him staying in the squad. But for me, he's not a starter in my ideal vision of what Ten Hag will build. But as a useful squad player, he has his uses, which is why I want him to start tomorrow. I think he needs his physical presence to like throw a tackle in there under Borna, show him that we're there, we're ready to be physical. Because the two biggest matchups for me tomorrow are McTominay against De Bruyne, because you can't let De Bruyne have any space because he'll just pick that back post cross. And then Martinez versus Haaland. That's like the two biggest matchups for me.
See, for me, I can't see how you lot get anything without Casemiro. You have to have Casemiro in that lineup tomorrow. The experience, the know-how, everything about the big game atmosphere won't overhaul him. He's been seen, done it all. McTominay's in a good vein of form. Bruno played in an awful Portuguese performance in midweek.
I want me to sleep on the plane.
Eriksen, McTominay, and Casemiro is the way forward for me for tomorrow.
That's
a strong midfield suddenly, man. I'd even go as far as saying you need someone to step on De Bruyne's toe everywhere he goes. That's where this play goes. I don't know who. I don't know. In the old days, it would have been Juicing Park.
Remember Herrera on Hazard recently?
Herrera.
That was funny times watching that game.
Herrera. See what I'm saying? But he had a use.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's true. If Casemiro starts tomorrow, I'm not going to complain. I'm not like...
Nah, you're not in a position to complain, bro. This is Casemiro.
As long as I don't see Ronaldo start.
I think if you go, yeah, that's wild. If you start, if you're going with Eriksen and Bruno and McTominay, you're getting overrun in that midfield. He's going to overload you. He's going to bring in Kyle Walker and Cancelo to aid the other three in there, and then they're just going to do bits against you guys. I think you need to play your three quickest players up top, and three of your hardest working, efficient players in midfield. That's just my
amateur. I think I said the same midfield like that we played against Arsenal. I think Arsenal and City are such similar teams, and like we saw Cancelo and Zinchenko played the exact same role. We saw what Ten Hag did to stop Zinchenko in terms of man marking him. I expect the same thing tomorrow against Cancelo. As for Kyle Walker, we'll see what happens with that. But Ten Hag also loves inverting his fullbacks too. Malacia plays a very inverted role as well, so he could kind of negate Kyle Walker in that sense as well. So it's gonna be a chess match, student versus teacher, all that kind of stuff. We'll see which bald manager.
I'm so excited. As long as if Liverpool had won today, just fucking crawled over that line.
I didn't watch the game, so that's why I'm not talking about Liverpool.
No, it was messy. It was an ugly game. We didn't deserve to be even in front. I don't know how we Bobby's second goal was slick. That was old school.
Yeah,
Bobby,
the feet.
Yeah.
I remember him doing that to Arsenal. Mustafi.
I was just gonna say maybe he's getting formed just for you lot again. Old school.
He's still got that anti-Arsenal clause in his contract, hasn't he?
Let's see.
But he's on a free next summer. I don't know if he's.
I was so looking forward to this weekend because Arsenal Spurs was a cracking game up until the red card. It was game over.
He deserves that red card, by the way.
Yeah,
I don't understand what he was doing.
By the way, I've predicted a red card in the game tomorrow, so I said 2 red cards in this weekend would definitely take place. And my favorite is going to be Lisandro Martinez for a red card tomorrow.
Nah. My butcher ready for Erling Haaland. He's ready for that Terminator guy. We're ready.
Haaland's getting revenge, man. Because I remember when Lisandro Martinez signed, right, and they were getting obviously people don't know much about him, but they kept showing the Ajax Dortmund game where Martinez is just there following
That's
Haaland.
my main
and
game for
getting
Timber
into
Prop.
Yeah, honestly, I think it's going to be really interesting. But you know, one thing, I think De Bruyne is more dangerous this year. You know, I'm looking at him; he's not
But
involved in the game
apparently,
as much.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
apparently, speaking to a lot of City fans, he's
Mhm.
not in, just like him and Haaland.
Yeah,
They're just
that's-
picking in
it's-
moments, bang.
It's scary. If the guy's not there, then he's there.
Two robots. It's two robots linking up. That's why I said their duo is just two robots: a robot of a passer and a robot of a finisher.
But overall, they're not playing well.
Yeah,
But
but it's those two.
De Bruyne, Kroos, go Bird. That's pretty much the game plan. That's all it is.
Yeah, you guys are hyped me for this game, man. I'm excited now. Elanga, Rashford, Anthony. If you guys play that front three, I think that's the one I would go for. Because I feel like Sancho and Anthony, both of them kind of maybe. Yeah, I wouldn't do that. If you got Anthony, you can beat a man, but at the same time, he's got a bit of Sancho in him where you can link up and do.
Yeah, I'd rather play Anthony only because he's much better off the ball than a Sancho.
Yeah, I'd play Anthony, Elanga, Rashford. That'll be my front three. If you guys put that out, then I could start thinking, okay, as long as Elanga's job for me would just literally be just annoy them on that side, just be annoying. That's it, and let Anthony and
that's
Rashford
what I'm saying, bro. People are
thing.
sleeping on Elanga. I'm not saying he's your way forward progression in terms of future and the way you're gonna philosophy and Ten Hag's philosophy, and he's gonna be part of the fabric and network going forward. Horses for courses, you know. And you know who's and again, I'm sorry to revert back to the fucking best manager in the Premier League that's ever seen. Alex Ferguson used to do a lot of horses for courses. The thing is, social media wasn't around then, man. I wish it was, and you'd would know. I don't want to sound like the old man preaching, but there were some wild calls from the legends of of Wenger and Ferguson that everyone used to think, what? But they used to just know what they're doing. Obviously, it's highlighted nowadays much more if there's a change in selection or a weird selection. But Fergie was the king of horses for courses.
He played 8 defenders in the game one time.
Yeah, in certain games, he would just boom. Suddenly, 4 strikers would be on the pitch. Suddenly, like you said, 7 defenders would be on the pitch. Suddenly, it would be 5 in midfield, and you think, what's he doing? Man marking, keep horses for courses.
That's the one attribute I wish Wenger kind of maybe learned from Fergie. Fergie was much more willing to bend what he was doing. Wenger was so idealistic at times that, you know, it's his way or the highway. And I see that in Klopp as well, you know. That's why we always talk about Klopp-Wenger comparisons. I see that in Klopp where it's like, it's hit one way. If it doesn't work, that's it. You guys, the players are going to have to just figure it out. Pep as well, it's kind of like that, but he does switch up a lot more.
Bro, it's so true, Bilal. And you know what? Blue Moons brought up John O'Shea. My guy, John O'Shea, these days would have had to black out his Twitter.
Shout out that chip against Arsenal, by the way. A hybrid. Shout out that goal.
I'm telling you, John O'Shea would be cancelled on social media. My guy will be getting abused left and right. But you know what? In terms of reliability for Fergie, he was near enough at one stage in the first 4 or 5 names on his team sheet, bro. I'm telling you, Mr. Reliable. That was the modern day Dennis Irwin right there for him. Like, clunky player. Clunky. Yeah. I'm telling you, clunky. I grew up in the John O'Shea era. Trust me, I know, innit? But he used to do mad jobs for him. He used to play him in midfield sometimes.
When Fergie, the guy, honestly, I remember even later on when he's playing guys like Cleverly, he ends up at Watford doing nothing after. Who's the other guy? Was it Darren Gibson? Another guy. These random players like Fergie found a way to just make it work. Even the last team that won the Premier League, the last United team that won the Premier League, wasn't a great team. I know
it was RVP Gobert.
It's RVP who got you over the line, but the rest of the team, apart from Rooney, RVP, it wasn't great. And that's probably why you guys, when Fergie left, things kind of went south because the team itself wasn't actually good. But Fergie just found a way all the time just to get this team pumping in the right direction. So you got to give him that.
Michael, it's great.
One last thing. I know
you're going.
If we win tomorrow, we're getting top 4, guaranteed.
Well, over Liverpool and Chelsea.
That's a massive call, though.
Who's your top 4 anyway?
So, but what's the bigger call though? Winning tomorrow or getting top 4? What's the bigger call? Do you reckon?
Top 4, because people are still going to say that we might cut Spurs, Liverpool, Chelsea, but I believe that we're better than Chelsea and Spurs right now. I'm not even joking. I think Spurs. I think Conte is gonna that switch is gonna go off in his head soon, and Chelsea, I don't rate them that high.
I think you can get a result tomorrow. I'm not gonna lie. I think you can. I'm not one of these that thinks you know what I mean, it's a wrap. I think you can, but it's going to be interesting. I wish I could have enjoyed it more, but because of my shit team right now, I can't enjoy it, but I'm still going to watch and, you know what I mean, break it all down. Michael, I know you're back this week, so we'll hopefully see you on Young Bucks this week.
Sure.
Is he been reprimanded or is he allowed back in? Bilal?
He's allowed back in. He's allowed.
Okay, cool.
Little slap on the wrist, but he's
all
alright.
right. Cool. All right, cool. No problem. All right, Michael, man,
Big up.
catch up with you, man. Look after yourself.
Big up, bro.
Guys, as Treble Lord says, come on, like, share, subscribe, support your quality channel as you continue to get brilliant content on a consistent basis. Much love for that message. That is very nice of you. We have a super chat that I want you to deal with.
Yeah, so IBB says, I missed the start, so I apologize if you talked about this, but Saliba was on another level today. Him versus Haaland right now would be intriguing. And yeah, that's the battle that unfortunately has been postponed, man, because obviously the Arsenal Man City game is not gonna happen probably till after the World Cup. But yeah, Saliba versus Haaland, that's gonna be an interesting battle. For me, Saliba is, I keep saying it, the best under 21 centre back in the world, and Haaland is probably already, forget under 21 tags. He's just probably he's a top 3 striker in the world right now. So yeah, that's going to be a crazy battle between those two. And yeah, let's see Man City tomorrow, what they can do. Haaland, he's basically a Man City fan, isn't he? So he's gonna be so pumped for this Manchester derby. He's gonna be buzzing for it, and yeah, I can't wait to see him play in that game. But yeah, Haaland again, monster. And I saw some people doubting him, kind of, you know, maybe Bundesliga attacks, all of this sort of stuff with Haaland, but he's just proven not everyone wrong, but he's just showing the level of a striker that he really is. And to be honest, he's even scared me more than I thought I would be scared. So I think that's all I have to say on Haaland. The name, everything, the way he plays, yeah, just a monster player. 100.
Yeah, man. Yeah, look, Saliba's looking good. Him versus Haaland it will be intriguing. It will be intriguing, but time will tell. You know, it's all about long seasons. Got these players, all these guys, got to do it over a long period, not over a period of 10 games, 8 games, whatever it is.
I hear that, but you know what it is? Haaland's going to be chilling during that World Cup, man. He's just going to be sitting, training, coming back, watching a few games, getting just hyped up for the start of the Premier League again. And I think that's going to even add another little dimension to Man City later on. So yeah, that's why we say Man City aren't playing great, but look at them. They win tomorrow. They're only 1 point off first.
Exactly.
They're just there. Just don't go away.
Exactly. People, there's nearly 350 of you in here, but nowhere near enough likes. So let's get those likes up. Helps us.
Come on, guys. Yeah,
helps us to keep putting on shows for you guys, which means you guys can come on and speak, give your opinion, which is what's going to happen right next. Who's next?
Nippon.
Nippon's next. Let's get Nippon up on the stream. Let's hope Nippon's sane, man. Salam, how are you, mate?
How's everyone doing?
Everyone, I don't know. I can't speak for everyone. Let me just get myself out of the way. I am doing okay after speaking to the community, the wider community. I'm going to speak to the Liverpool community directly tomorrow, so I may feel shit again. But right now, I'm speaking to the rest of you brothers, and I'm okay. The floor is yours.
Yeah, man. Lucky win. We deserve nothing more than a point from that game. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, I was on a watch along.
Potter fan?
Can you keep your voice down? I'm live on camera.
Live on Grizz Khan TV. Tell him.
Yeah. Say hi to him.
Yo, mate.
Hi to him.
Hello.
So Nippon, I want to ask you: was you a Potter fan? So why are you a bit lucky and a bit down? You should be gloating, no?
Look, I'm not one of these Chelsea fans who are shameless. Okay.
Okay.
Look, happy we won. I'm always happy after a win, but I say it as it is, and we were lucky to win today.
Fair enough.
Are you happy with the changes or anything that Potter's doing compared to Tuchel? Because everyone's been complaining about Tuchel and playing players out of position. Aubameyang scored. Surely that's a positive. And Gallagher, Chelsea boy, scored.
Yeah, it's sorry you had to hear that, Bilal, knowing the club you support.
I honestly not bothered at all. Obo was the guy for me. Came to Arsenal at probably the lowest point we've been in my lifetime. And
Well,
he got us out from a lot. He got us out from a lot. He won us a trophy. Fair play to him. I don't have any grudges against him. So I hope he just does his thing, collects money, and then just leaves you guys after.
Oh, you're a bit. So I saw a bit of salt in those tears. I'm not gonna lie.
I've got Gabriel Jesus. I'm all right. I'm good. I'm all right over here.
We're gonna have that battle when we face each other. Don't you worry about that, my son.
When do you guys face each other? Have you faced? That's another big
probably
game
after the
coming up
World
soon,
Cup.
right?
I think it's after the World Cup. I haven't seen it on the fixture list this month. So yeah,
I think it's on the 6th or the 8th of November. So I think it's the last.
Yeah, let me have a look.
It's the last game before the World Cup.
Fair enough.
But yeah, I wanted to ask Bilal a question. Who do you hate? A lot of Arsenal fans give me different answers, and I understand the reasoning behind both types of Arsenal fans. Who do you hate more, United or Tottenham?
Thing is, I grew up like kind of both fans around me, but there was way more United fans, and obviously there's a lot of Arsenal fans, a lot of United fans. So for me, that's always been the game where I feel the nerves, I feel the anger, feel the passion. I feel the happiness when we win. I feel it all with Man United as well, because competing for titles, and just the fan bases themselves. With Tottenham, it's different. With Tottenham, it's just hatred for hatred's sake. You know, they're just there, wanting to get some shine on being near Arsenal and being that rival, historical, local. It's a hate thing where, you know, like today,
like the noisy neighbours thing, because they don't win anything.
Yeah, Tottenham are just there, but you got to slap them. You got to slap them. That's the thing. You got to slap Tottenham.
Oh, look. There's one thing. Look, there's the North London derby is weird because it's the mentality. I've said this on Twitter so many times today. It's a mentality block in both teams. They can never seem to win at the Emirates. You guys never seem to win at White Hart Lane. You lost in a similar fashion at White Hart Lane last season than they did at the Emirates this season.
Yeah, no, I hear that, and I think I had an exchange with Toby on Big Six. So yeah, he was talking about that, and he said you guys got smacked 3-0. You know, you shouldn't be so confident coming into this North London derby. But it's one of those things when Tottenham come to the Emirates, they haven't won there. They've only won there once since the Emirates has been open. So for me,
Incorrect.
It's not really a thing.
Twice.
Well, don't tell me the Carabao Cup game or something.
Once was in the League Cup.
No, this is not a serious game. A proper game. I think I remember that game. I think Dele Alli must have done something. I remember him playing that.
And I think he had a bottle thrown at him by Arsenal fans.
Yeah, he might have. Dele's a proper wind-up merchant, so it is what it is. Yeah, big up Dele though. I can't lie.
He's one of those players you would love on your team, but you would absolutely hate playing against.
Yeah, 100%. It's like Diego Costa was at you guys at Chelsea. Everyone hates Diego Costa, but you guys loved him.
And I honestly think, Grizz, I honestly think Darwin Núñez can become good for you guys. I don't know why so many people are writing him off already.
He's had a very average start in terms of if you're overrating him. He's obviously had a horrific start in terms of getting sent off. And I guess the jury's out, and that's fine. He's cost a lot of money. Jury will be out for him, but I'm of the opinion he's going to be very effective for us. I keep using that word for Darwin Núñez. He's not going to be lighting up the Premier League every week and people seeing crazy goals and skills and all sorts, but he's going to be effective in the long run. Right now, it's looking bleak in every aspect, not only Núñez, but our defense, but our midfield. So, yeah.
I think you guys should have gone for, when United pulled out of the race for Frankie de Jong, you honestly should have pounced on that opportunity. You should have gone for either him or Inter Milan's Nicolo Barella. You would have upgraded massively if you'd went for one of those two.
My friend, we did try, but obviously these clubs, it's a two-way thing. They have to be willing to sell as well. So it's not just a matter of going for someone. Like you guys know, you went for a lot of players, but it's not. You know, it's we've got our targets. We couldn't get them this summer. Unfortunately, it's looking like it's going to cost us this season. And that's the way it is. There's not a lot we can do about it.
I have a question for both of you. While I'm still on here, I think I've already asked this on the Big Six, but my work takes my mind off a lot of things. What was a goal you conceded that made you sit back and say, you know what, fair play, that was a great goal?
We've had a few screamers scored against us. Well, I could go back. There's no point going back. I could go back to the goal Barcelona scored against us. The team Rivaldo was in, and Philip Cocu and them, man. They played like a passing move that lasted, it seemed like, for about 100 passes. And then in the end, who scored in the end? People in the chat, if there's any Liverpool people that remember that goal a few years back, Barcelona. So that's the old school one. Modern day, recent history. There's a thunder bastard from Wanyama a few seasons ago. That's Spurs, Liverpool. That was huge. Jezza's talking about the Hazard goal. That was a sensational goal that he scored against us. Yeah, in the League Cup, I think it was. That was a good goal. What are you saying, Bilal, for you?
Yeah, I don't know. I was just thinking and had a random goal that just came into my head when you asked that question. I think it was during lockdown. It's Arsenal Villa. I don't know why it's such a random game. And I think we won 3-1 on the day, but the consolation goal that Villa scored was by Jacob Ramsey. And some reason that's just in my head because he scored an absolute worldie.
Here's another couple Jay's come out with. Kovacic against us to Chelsea.
That was insane.
And Bale in the Champions League final. Not bad.
Yeah, 100%. Another goal that I was thinking about as well. This is not really fair play because the goalkeeper goal was very questionable. But Ronaldo against Arsenal, Champions League semi-final. Yeah. Free kick. Remember that? Yeah, that was another goal I was thinking.
Where'd you rate Sadio Mane's goal against you lot on his debut?
What about?
I remember. Is it left foot? Yeah, no, that was a good goal as well.
Ridiculous goal, Bilal.
There's been some crazy goals against us, man. Even likes of David Bentley, Danny Rose. These are top players now.
Shit.
I swear that was his first ever goal. I swear that was
Danny. But as I said, the goalkeeper, them times, I don't want to speak about him or mention his name. Very questionable individual. So a lot of those goals, the big tax because of the goalkeeper. And I don't know why he was in the team for so many years, but that's another conversation for another day. Oh, by the way, guys, before we could move on to anything, I just saw this comment, breaking news apparently. Get your thoughts in it as well, Nippon, while you're here. And it says Bruno Lage might be sacked. And I actually did check. It is true. The Telegraph did report this, that Wolves are considering the future of this head coach. Wolves, and I think he just came in recently, tried to get them playing. And if he does get sacked, I'm thinking maybe the guy at Sporting, Ruben
that makes
Amorim,
zero sense, though. That must be an absolute
him.
falling out. That must be an absolute falling out. That could be nothing else but a personal falling out with the owner, because that's the kind of club they're becoming now, aren't they? In terms of
what type club?
In terms of revolving door of coaches and players. Shady deals behind the scenes. A lot of Portuguese influence. Mendes
influence is big.
But Nippon, we've got to keep it moving.
Diego Costa through.
Exactly. There you go.
Look. Portuguese and Brazilian. I'm not being fooled. Diego Costa is just a Brazilian who happens to be playing for the Spanish national team. Same with Thiago Alcantara. Same way Jorginho is. Same way. These are all Brazilians. Jorginho, Thiago, and who was it I just mentioned? Yeah, Diego Costa. They're all Brazilians who play for European countries.
I think the Diego Costa one was a bit of a weirder situation because he didn't switch till he was quite old. He made that switch to Spain, and he already played for Brazil a few times, but I think it wasn't official games.
Not
as a full international, but it was like, I think it was like just friendlies. It didn't count basically.
Nippon, we've got to keep it moving now, my friend. We've got still so many people waiting to come on. I don't know how I'm going to get everyone on. it's going to be a few disappointments, but I had to get you on. Always a pleasure. Trevor.
Yeah, I'll see you in the next call-in show if it's on one of my days off.
You take care, my friend. Look after yourself.
See you.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
I can't believe that news, man.
Yeah, it's mad. Because the
Will
thing
that
is, yeah,
happen?
if they can get the sporting guy for
What does it say?
example,
What's the
you
issue?
like-
What does it say? What's the reason? Any reasons given or any falling out or anything?
It just says he's considering major doubt after he struggled to deliver results on the pitch and the fans vented their fury. And it says here they feel like they've backed him heavily in the transfer market and he's not actually delivering the results that he should be.
Shit.
And it's a bit mad. Even the striker they signed, he picked up a big injury. As soon as
That's
they
it,
signed him.
man. Yeah.
And
That's a
Pedro
bit-
Neto as well was another player coming back off injuries, not really doing
Playing
it.
him as a wing back as well is a bit wild, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know. If they can get the sporting guy in, for example, okay. But
No,
if they-
why will he want to go there, man? He's got big ambitions, man. You're looking at a
Jo-
big job for him.
Yeah, 100%. But
You're looking at a big job.
Bruno
One of
Lage is a
the
good
big
coach.
jobs. Bruno
So if
Lage
they're
is a
getting
good
rid of
coach.
him, you're going to have to go get another really good coach. know?
Yeah, fair
But the
enough.
goals aren't there
Reverend
sometimes.
reminds me because they've been in quite bad form, Grizz.
Yeah.
Yeah, but sackable. But anyway, let's get some callers in, man. We've got so many waiting, man. Who's it next? Have you made a note of it?
Reedy, I believe.
Reedy's next.
Yeah.
All right, let's get
Yeah.
Reedy up in the chat. Welcome to the stream, my friend. How you doing?
Not great, but it's life, isn't it? It's football. It's always going to be football.
Me and you, mate, we're in the same
Oh.
boat. Bilal's
I'm
lovely.
just like this.
Yeah, exactly. Just like this to us. Yeah, man. Talk to us. What do you want to talk about?
Well, obviously we spoke about Leicester about 3 weeks ago when we played
Yeah.
Brighton.
Mm,
The night before that, we got battered them 5-2. Went
let
to
me tell
Spurs.
you, no shame in losing to Brighton. Very good team, Brighton.
Hey, they beat us last year as well. They're a good team.
Oh, yeah, they are.
Yeah, very
And
good
then
team.
we went to Spurs, looked decent for the first half, and then got battered another 6. So at this point now, I'm not too sure about Rodgers. I wasn't sure back then, but now I just think if he was to go, surely you'd sack him before the international break. And now it comes to the point where you've kind of got to give him this big derby game.
Mhm.
Yes, we've got about 5 games, including the derby game, that are winnable. But if you lose to Forest and then lose to Bournemouth after that, and then you've got Palace, which if you get a run on, you could beat them. If not, you could get another loss. It
Mhm.
gets to the point where you think, will the board ever sack Rodgers at this point? But then I listen to his press conferences, and I don't know why, but just believe him again. I'm like, oh, he loves the job. He wants to turn things around. I'm like, oh, go on then, mate, you do it. I can't see you doing it.
I can't as well, Bilal. Can you?
Oh.
I don't know what to say to Leicester people, man.
Yeah, I think this is okay, against Brighton, for example. Brighton are a really good team, and you see the players today, like Trossard getting a hat trick. He's available in a free transfer if anyone wants to sign him. Any big club, Arsenal, please bring him as a backup.
Yeah, but I think
But-
he's a fantastic player.
I
I've been
need
saying it
that.
for a little while, but
Such a
he's
good player.
what now, 30 something?
No, he's like 27, 28. He's a good age, and if it's a free transfer, it's a good. Just why not?
Trossard.
Yeah, Trossard is only like 28 years old, I believe, and he signed a
No.
few. I remember he was linked before he went to Brighton. I remember he was actually linked to Arsenal around that time. We were looking for a player of that kind of profile, but he ended up at Brighton, and he's just showing his quality. He's such a tidy player, so good on the ball, can play all across the front.
28 in December. Lord.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
That's a player.
That's a
there,
signing
honestly.
right there, then, if that's the case.
100%. Brighton's probably going to get picked off again, but they'll get, well, not for Trossard, but for the other players, they'll get money. I remember the Brighton fan coming on the other day. What do you say? 80 million for Caicedo? Yeah, I don't know about that. But anyway, going back to Leicester before I get sidetracked completely, I don't know. With Leicester, man, I understand why they're giving Brendan Rodgers this kind of period. It's this international break. They don't really want to sack him, if we're keeping it real. They don't want to sack him. It's Brendan Rodgers. He's won you the FA Cup. He's played some really good football when everything's actually been clicking. And a lot of this, to be honest, is it really his fault? The transfer window, is it really his fault?
Kind
I'm
of.
not sure.
Everyone's kind of putting the blame on him. Like before a few games ago, like I say, the Brighton game, I was still backing him because we played all right football at times. We just bottled it at times. Playing against Brentford, we were 2-0 up and then we drew 2-2. Southampton, we were winning 1-0, we lost 2-1. In times we were in positions, even against Spurs, we were 2-2 at half time, and then we get Son comes on and gets a hat trick. So at times, yes, we are playing well, but it's more the point now where he's not picking the right players. Like for me, Ward doesn't get into that team anymore. I think I even saw on that 90 min with you, Grizz, that I think Booby said that Ward's not even a
Who's your
League
alternative?
2
Though?
player.
Who's your alternative though?
He's Iverson. He's the Danish second. Well, he's not second in the Danish team, but for us, he's our backup. And to be honest, he played for. I think he played for Preston the whole season, the last 2 seasons on loan. Got player of the season for them as a keeper.
Yeah.
And you just think when Casper leaves, you think, okay, Danish again. What's Casper done to help him out there? Maybe he's a good player to drop in as your number 1. Ward sitting on the bench the last 4 years. I don't get how he expects it. Okay, give him a chance, and then you see the errors against Arsenal, and then you just see other errors in general. Yes, he makes good saves as well, but for me, that's one reason why I'm Rodgers out, because he is picking players that just does not deserve to start.
You can't play him again. And if this Iverson guy played for Preston, I remember Pickford was there. They know a thing or two about goalkeepers. If he's getting the player of the year there, just get him in. He has to be better than Ward. Honestly, Ward, he's one of the most shocking goalkeepers I've ever seen. I thought Rumours, when he was at Arsenal for a few games, was bad. This Ward, I've never seen something like this. And if he plays the next game, that's the manager's fault.
But that's mean you're playing against Forest, one of the biggest games. That now for me, this is the biggest game of the season, because you've got to be beating them, because we've got, like I say, we've got 5 games in a row now which are winnable for us before we play Man City, and we need that win to kind of hopefully turn us around and stop.
Who are you calling winnable games? Let's hear them.
Right, so we've got Forest, which again is probably the hardest game out of the lot, and then you've got Bournemouth, which I like. On our day,
BILAL?
we should be winning that easily.
I've been saying Bournemouth. The Bournemouth, they're not as crap as we all think.
No one knows that, but like the level where we were the last few years, you would think like only other than the top 7, you'd think Leicester can win the game. Then you've got Palace, which I think is winnable if you win against Forest and then Bournemouth in a row. You think you've got a bit of momentum coming into this game, and it's at home. Then you've got Leeds at home, another home game. I think out of all the games we've had before now, these are more winnable games. And then you've got Wolves away, which we have done before, won there. And then
it's a good run. It's not a bad run.
It's a good run.
Yeah, you can turn around the season.
But this is where, like I said, I've said that if we lose Forest now, do you sack him, or do you give him Bournemouth, and then do you lose that game if you lose that? It's just, it's shocking. It gets to the point where, like, are they ever going to sack him if we just keep losing games? I can't see it.
It will cost them 20 million though.
It will, but will it cost us more to get relegated or to pay him out? And I know Grizz says that he'll walk.
He won't.
He won't. I know he won't.
This is the problem. You lot are in dire straits. Honestly, there's no other way of explaining it.
The team on paper is still, like, I'd say probably top 8 or around there, I guess, because you've still got incredible players like Maddison. You've got, well, I was going to say Vardy, but he's kind of, now you can see he's kind of losing it a bit. You've got Indeed on his days brilliant. We had Fofana. I think he's lost it a bit now. He's on to Chelsea. You've got JJ left back. I think on his day he's one of the best. And then even Ricardo Pereira, he's injured for 6 months. And I think Grizz is a big fan of him, and he's
always injured. Always injured for like 6 months as well.
Yeah.
You know what it is with Leicester? Like at this point, the team itself, it shouldn't be where it is. 1 point. Like the team's, it is, get Ward out of there to start with. You're already onto something.
But that's the thing.
Remember that game?
That's the problem. He's not going to be. I know he's going to start against Forest.
If Ward keeps playing, and I'm a Leicester fan, I'm looking at Brendan Rodgers thinking, what are you doing? But remember that game against Liverpool, the 0-0? And that game, I thought Leicester had like no hope going. It was like last season, 0-0. You guys, did you actually? No, you won that game.
We won 1-0. That was the only game last season I missed because I had COVID. I hated missing that one.
You won that game, and you played with a team where I looked at it on paper, and Didi's at centre back. It's not looking that it can keep Liverpool out. Liverpool were absolute monsters that time of the season. I just thought, looking at that game, why didn't you learn something from that? You're in a bad way of form right now. and just revert. Do that for a little bit. Once you start getting some confidence, some stability, then go back to playing the beautiful football that you guys are playing.
I don't know. The thing is, I don't know if from what Grizz's ideas on this is. At the moment, and there's a lot of Leicester fans saying this, he's got one plan, and if that plan does not work in that game, it's game over. You've got no other chance. And for me, the seasons where we finished 5th, his plans worked a lot of the time. But now we're kind of relying on Barnes, which I honestly think he's starting to lose it as well. I know Grizz is again a big fan of him, but I am starting to lose faith in Rodgers just because he's not picking the right players in his team. We've got Pratt on the bench, who I think at the moment is better than Youri Tielemans. I'm not even a big fan of Youri Tielemans at the moment. You've got Ndidi, who's not playing too well on his day. Yes, he's one of the better defensive midfielders, but at the moment we've got Sumare, who's been playing better. Is playing better than him, and he's not getting picked into the side. We're just not picking the right players, and then it feels like it's kind of costing us into games, and it doesn't look like we're going to sack him anytime soon. That's the problem.
Some of the players, I don't know if they're interested, because like Tielemans, I read his comments going off to Belgium. He's like, I'm so happy. He basically said, I'm basically just happy to be at Leicester and getting out of this situation.
Wow.
And he's probably going to leave on a free anyway. So,
oh, yeah, he is. Yeah, because he's not signed a new contract, and his contract ends at the end of this season. So,
yeah, Madden for me is the only guy there. I'm looking at him thinking, yeah, you've got the minerals. Regardless, like however Leicester season goes, you're going to be doing something next season that's going to be really good. But yeah, Leicester, it's tough. It's tough.
Again, I'm going into Forest thinking, do you know what, we could win this. But then I go back to that Forest game last season in the Cup, and I just think, you know what, here we go again.
I don't know what to say to you, man. You're the only, couple of teams that I know. Yeah.
And like you're saying about the Wolves manager, I just think, how was he been sat before Rodgers? There's three managers sat before Rodgers.
A little manager swap between Wolves and Leicester. Everyone's happy.
No, taking this Leicester job is a poison chalice right now. There's no one in
There's only one manager I'd rather take at the moment than Rodgers, and that is Dijk. Just because I think you can get us out of the hole.
You could get out of the hole, but for me, that would be like setting Leicester back. Like
it would.
Back from where though, Bilal? They're on the way out.
From what they had before, like just.
But they're not getting back there.
Would we rather get relegated?
That's their
or stay up.
They had their little bit of fun and glory and magnificent glory at that. Winning the FA Cup and the league is magnificent for us, Leicester City. Wow. Like how many teams would die for that?
I honestly think even Rodgers said when after we finished finished 5th and 2 seasons in a run, he said that we overachieved, and he's right. I think our expected kind of season to season.
It's one of the most fairy tales.
Top 10 maybe max.
You're looking at this is a bigger fairy tale. Is it bigger than the Blackburn story, do you reckon?
The Blackburn had a lot of money, man.
I guess it doesn't count. Yeah, so
Leicester's thing is different.
Leicester done it with Leicester's the biggest fairy tale. Winning the Premier League and the FA Cup in the last 10 years. Is it 10 years?
Yeah.
It's even less.
Yeah, it was we won the league in 2015-16.
What a story. The most beautiful fairy tale story, better than any other story in the league, man. So, but it's over.
It is honestly but then
it's over.
People are saying that you're going to get Poch. I'm like, you've got no chance getting Poch in this situation. Maybe if we're a top 10 and
no chance.
The problem is teams like Newcastle as well are coming up, and West Ham, you're seeing what they're doing. Yeah. It's not just Leicester in that spot anymore that they were. Outside
exactly. We weren't the only team that's kind of trying to compete with the top 6. Now there's all the other teams are competing with us. We're just kind of going down the peck because we didn't buy any players now, and we've kind of lost that kind of spot to push.
Yeah, it's
really, man. I don't know if we've been of any use to you in terms of therapy. I don't know if we made it made you feel worse or, but.
It can't make me feel any worse, mate. So it's fine.
Yeah, football does mad things, man. You never know, man. Like just when you least expect results or any kind of performance or anything, football has a mad way of just surprising you, man.
Going into Monday night, then obviously I don't know if you've made any predictions or anything, but are you expecting Leicester winning that game, or are you actually going to see
a Forest? Is it Forest away or home?
We're at home.
If you lose that,
exactly, that's the problem.
If Ward is playing, just forget about it, man. If Ward's playing, just forget about it. But if he's not playing and there's a bit of positive energy in there, and that's not that goalkeeper who's just like a loose cannon, maybe there's a chance. But Nottingham Forest, for all the money they spent for the football they played last season in the Championship,
they're in trouble as well.
They're in trouble, exactly. They've not been picking up results as well. So yeah,
you kind of expect it. But you kind of expect it when you bring in that many players.
The one man that will probably save them against us is their keeper, because if we ain't got the strike force to get past him, I think they'll win it just with their keeper. That's how bad it is at Leicester at the moment. We're relying on a keeper to not do well.
Oh mate, well, we wish you all the best, man.
I feel bad for Leicester now, man.
It's all right. Well, it's all, as long as they don't get relegated, I can care less.
Yeah, that's it.
Remember the season. Remember the season before Leicester won the league, and it looked like you were going down, and somehow you stayed up. Next season, you won the league.
I think we won like 7-9. Yeah, we won on the last day. Yeah,
you've done it before. You can do it again.
Oh well, let's see if they can do it again. Reedy, man, catch up with you very soon, man. Look after yourself.
See you soon.
Yeah. Take care, guys. All right, we've got a super chat that I wanted to deal with before we go on. Yo, what's good? Not Liverpool right now, bro. He says, big up, hope all is well. Grizz, thoughts on Klopp tactically? I think he stinks tactically and he struggles to counter teams who counter his tactic. A lot of tactics in there.
Tactic,
yeah. Yeah, he's not great at the moment. Scrambled thinking from Klopp. I'm not going to lie, mate. I'm not going to lie. It's very scrambled thinking. I don't think he stinks tactically, but he's stinking right now. Overall, he's not a stinky manager, but right now he's, as I said, scrambled thinking. But I'm going to go into it more on the RedFellas tomorrow. Catch us 9 p.m. with the rest of the team. Next caller. We still got loads of callers to get through, man. I don't think we're going to get through everyone in the studio. I'm not going to lie, guys. It's been 2 hours and we're going to cut it fine. Football breakdown is next. He's been waiting a little while. Let's get football breakdown in here.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Yeah, it's going cool, bro. It's going cool. Talk to us, bro. What you want to speak about?
So there's a few things I want to speak about. Oh, two things. Mainly Liverpool. I know, Grizz. I'm sorry about your squad, but
it's good, man. You don't need to.
Yeah, but what I'm seeing from Liverpool is very concerning in terms of the back line. They just look discombobulated. Like the disorganization, I don't see anyone leading or commanding that back line. Most of the goals were just guys running amok. I'm seeing Virgil and Matip lose guys that are just making runs in between the lines, and I'm just like, what is happening? It seems like the frazzled thinking and that headspace that's happening to Klopp has gone throughout the team, and you just see disorganization everywhere. Like Trent is just out of position. I don't know what's going on with Liverpool. But one thing I want to talk about also particularly is Trent and Virgil. I don't know who this Virgil guy is. He seems like an imposter, to be completely honest with you. I don't know if he's gotten worse, truly, or he's always been this player, and since you guys can't press for 90 minutes, he's absorbing more pressure, and now we're seeing what his real defensive capabilities are. And I've always had a question about Virgil because I always say he has laissez-faire and they rely on the high line, and it's really hard to determine how good a CB is when you play a high line system and it's high press. And it's like maybe this is closer to where he's not shit, obviously, like the way he is, but maybe he's not as good as people were saying those years when they're comparing him to some of the all-time greatest center backs. And then
about that, I'll just say, let me just interrupt there because I think Van Dijk, it's going to be so peak for him. Like if Liverpool continue like this, people are going to forget how good he actually was for those few years. And before the injury that he picked up, which was a massive injury, this guy was unreal. Like you can only play that high line to that level of perfection because of him. If he's not there, everything falls apart. And I just think the injuries kind of got to him. And
I agree.
Now that the team playing this way, it's a bit it's hard.
I agree, but what the faults I'm seeing, I don't think it's because of injury or physical. It's just like lapses, like positioning, losing guys, just not being aggressive. There's a certain presence that he's not commanding that back line with. I don't know. I think a lot of this stuff is I don't know what's going on with the Liverpool back line. It's unexplainable. And then Trent, man, it's those people saying Trent can't defend. I'm one of them. This is what we're talking about. Trent is looking like a David Beckham with worse defensive tracking back. Because people forget, they see David Beckham. I don't know if people remember how David Beckham played. David Beckham would put in tackles and was a gritty player. And I think Trent needs to get some of that grit. I don't know if he can defend or it's positioning. I don't know what you're seeing, Grizz. I'm sure you'll speak about it more. This man is wiping his eyebrows.
I'm just sat here twirling my moustache, and usually when I'm twirling my moustache, it's either I'm reflecting or I'm simmering inside, or
I'm sorry.
No, you're
right,
good, man. This is what it's about. No. Don't go anywhere. We have to address your points because this is what it's about. It's about your call, your opinions, your agenda, your narrative.
No. Yeah, I'm not changing my points. I just want
No. It's good. I want to just briefly, unless you don't want me to speak on it, because
go ahead and speak on it.
Okay. So Virgil van Dijk is playing poorly, and I've said it myself. He's been playing poorly. I think I don't agree with your point about it anyway takes away from his previous form and the levels he reached. You only got to listen to you ain't got to listen to Liverpool fans, because of course Liverpool fans will big up Virgil every time.
Right. You
only got to go and listen to testimony of his fellow forwards and attackers that are playing, his contemporaries, so to speak, and they will tell you he's scary good. They speak about him being, unbeatable in any phase of the game, whether it's strength, whether it's mind reading ahead of the game, whether it's speed, whether it's trying to dribble past him. All of these things, people told you Virgil is clear. His injury, he came back from a year out, one of the worst injuries. We've spoken about it before. 10 years ago, this type of injury ends your career. Never mind competing at the level that he was competing only 6 months ago, which was for every trophy in the game, which was every single game a player sets out to play for a club, he fucking played. That's insane levels of intensity at the very, very highest level after being a year out and going straight into war for every game, where we got to a phase where we had to win every game. If we don't win, a draw seen as a loss, coinciding with the rest of his teammates having an absolute shit show of a season so far. It's not only on Virgil. The high pressing and the intensity that Klopp is asking to these guys to play, it's not the players' fault, in my opinion. It's the coach's fault, asking them to play in this intensity and this level. Jurgen, there's no one who would defend Virgil van Dijk and say to you, no, you know what, bro? You're chatting shit. He's playing great. He's not playing great. He's not even remotely close to his level. So I agree with that. But to say his levels have never been, or you doubt his levels, and you're saying that maybe he wasn't that defender.
No.
He was that defender.
I won't say he wasn't that. It was more of like the all-time context, in the sense that maybe he was that defender, but I don't know if he was as.
Yeah, so all-time, I agree with you. All-time decisions can only be made at the end of someone's career.
Right.
So, and even then, there's no definitive opinion. It's subjective.
Right.
Someone will say all-time, no problem. Yeah. We assess that at the end of the career, like we assess Tony Adams, John Terry, Rio, all of these guys. We assess them at the end of their careers, and then. Even then, who's right, who's wrong?
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard for CBs too. You have the systems, style of play errors. There's so many things to consider. So, it's sad to see, honestly, because you want to see more competition in the league and people challenging City in their dominance in this last 5 or 6 years, well, this last decade, to be honest. And the other thing I wanted to touch upon was Harry Kane. So there's been a lot of talk around Harry Kane and
Wait, before you start, you're
Wow.
Arsenal fan, right?
It's a bit weird. So I'll give you a brief. I'm Cameroonian, so I follow wherever Eto'o went. So I was a Barcelona fan first, and then
shit. Okay.
yeah,
Before Play FC even existed.
yeah. And I'm wearing. You can say I'm wearing the.
Yeah. That's what I was asking.
That's when I started watching the Premier League. So because of Henry, so that's why I started supporting Arsenal. So that's why I like Arsenal in England, like Barcelona in Spain. But yeah, I don't really hate. I like football in general. And so there's been a debate about Harry Kane and his all-time standing and him as a striker and his stature. And people are saying, if he wins one trophy, where does that put him, or his lack of trophies? The thing about Harry Kane for me as a striker, I don't rate him as highly as most people do. I just don't have when I watch Harry Kane or watch great strikers like Eto'o, Ronaldo, even a Zlatan, even like a Diego Costa, a Drogba. Even though Harry Kane has outscored some of the strikers I named, there's a fear factor, I don't know, that I don't get from Harry Kane when he steps on the pitch. There's a fear factor that when there's some type of je ne sais quoi that some of these guys had that oh, they're turning up. Too often times I watch Tottenham games, and even in games that Harry Kane scores, I don't remember him playing the game. It's weird. I don't know if any of you get that sense. And that's why even Wayne Rooney, there's a certain charisma that he changes the feel of a team. You know what I mean? Maybe that's just some subjective thing I'm harping on to, but that's how I feel about Harry Kane. And that's why I feel like he doesn't drag his teams in those trophy clinching or those title matches.
I'm gonna let Bilal take this. I'm gonna be back in 2 minutes, but I think Bilal's take on this will be interesting because he's an Arsenal fan. But I have a feeling he may disagree with you. I don't know. Stay tuned, folks. Let's hear it. I'll be back in 2 minutes, guys. Cool. Still over 300 views. Smash up likes. I'm gonna let Football Breakdown and Bilal hold the fort for 2 minutes.
Yeah, cool. Now, on Harry Kane, I can see maybe what you mean because he doesn't have the pace or the that in behind threat that a lot of players like Leon Rees and the Eto'o did. Especially Eto'o was an absolute madman. But for me, Kane, I look at him and he's a problem, man. He'll drop deep. The way he positions his body, he's so smart. He's so switched on. And we always make the joke, that we play at Tottenham. Let's say Arsenal play Tottenham North London derby. Kane's gonna at least get one penalty in that game. I know it's a penalty, but it's so guaranteed that when he gets a penalty, he's gonna score.
Yeah,
his shot selections are always crazy. For me, it might just be because you have that feeling, just because he stayed at Tottenham for this long, and maybe that's a mistake on his part signing the contract that he did. He couldn't go to Man City when he could have. Bayern Munich seemed to be interested. Maybe if he goes to Bayern and he plays for a team with a big club aura as well, then maybe we start seeing.
But it's not even only that; it's also his performances for England. This guy in England is just, you know what I mean? It's kind of he doesn't jump out of the screen. Even on bad teams, like these strikers I discussed, they would score or impact their team, or they have a different feel. Harry Kane on England in the last Euros, was he good? You remember him playing?
Well, Sterling was the best player in the Euros, and I say Saka did pretty well.
The
defense did pretty well. Kane did his bit, and he did score when he was needed to score against Denmark. He did get the penalty again. He did his thing here. Jezza coming in the comments here saying didn't square the ball for Sterling. It was in the World Cup, right? When he
There's just certain things about Kane. He's like a great striker. He scores many goals, but in those games, like in a final, I don't know. I'm not.
If his career ends like this today, we might look at Kane in the same way people even look at like a Lukaku, for example. Someone who's got a lot of goals,
but nothing to show for it.
Yeah, they didn't really push on to what they should have been. So I just think it's maybe unfortunate that he just had to stay at Tottenham this long and he's not been able to get to that next level where he can really push himself. He's been in his comfort zone for a really long time. But he's shown he's shown his game dropping deep.
And his game is good. His game is very good.
Yeah, exactly. In behind, he's not the quickest, but he's got the intelligence to peel off defenders, to get in behind.
Right.
He's not quick, but he does it. So for me, I just think he's unlucky, to be honest, that he stayed at Tottenham that long. And if he played for another club, if he played for Liverpool, for example, and he's had the history of the great strikers that have played for Liverpool,
Ooh.
and then he did something like he did bits for them, then it would be
Speaking
different.
of strikers, there's one thing I want to mention about Liverpool quickly so you can get to other callers. How many times is Mo Salah, and this is my beef with wingers and some wingers in this generation who want to put these inverted forwards, inverted wingers. How many times is Mo Salah going to get the ball on the right wing and not go baseline? Is he ever going to use his right foot to cross the ball to Nunez? Is that going to happen? Maybe one time. Maybe don't cut in every single time.
When you're left footed, a lot of left footed.
No. When you play football and you're playing winger, it's not hard to put in a cross with either foot, even if you're so predominantly one-footed. Like, come on, Salah. He needs to vary some of his winger play. Like Salah's an elite player. I love the guy, but like as a winger, he needs to throw in some more variety in how he gets the ball because Nunez is not getting fed. The more times Mo Salah cuts into the box to shoot the ball, the less opportunity is for Nunez to get on the header. And I think there's a lot of opportunity where the defender is literally giving him the baseline or showing him that he to his right foot, and Mo Salah won't take it. It's crazy to me.
Because he's not a touchline winger. That's why, for example, I'll just give another Arsenal example. When Pepe and Saka were at the club, and Saka would always play because Pepe, even though he could be a good inside forward on the touchline, cutting in, going to your right foot, trying to get across, he couldn't do it. And that's why the other point we talks about Liverpool and Trent and the defense and everything that's going wrong, that's a big part of it for me. I'm thinking, why is Trent always coming inverted? Why don't you just make Trent's game a bit more easier for him? Just go up and down the line, then he can get the crosses in, and Salah can just wait for him and play him those through balls that Trent can come onto. Because that's when Liverpool, for me, were very scary.
Like, this sounds crazy, but I would love to see Salah on the left wing. People think I'm insane for saying that, but I would just love to see Salah play on the left and him actually crossing balls in instead of just being an inverted wing. Because honestly, I think he could provide more value as a playmaker doing so. But
well, listen, we've got to keep it moving, man. Bro, thanks very much, man, for calling in. We catch up with you. Take care.
Yeah,
look after you. Have a great day. All right, let's keep it moving, man. Guys, there's about 7 of you waiting. I don't even know if I can guarantee all of you on. I can't. We're going to get DH. He's been waiting for a fair while. Let's get DH on the stream, man. Welcome to the stream, my bro. How are you doing?
Grizz, BILAL.
Welcome, man.
How you doing?
I'm a Liverpool fan. How am I doing, Grizz?
Okay.
I'm gonna just sit back and get the popcorn out, man.
No, you ain't getting
No popcorn needed. I'm only really here to talk about one person, and that is Jurgen Klopp. Reason why I'm not really doing too good is because I can't even go and enjoy my social media because what's trending on my timeline is Klopp out, which I think is ridiculous. Beautiful. So what I will say, though, is there needs to be a formation change. That's what I believe. I believe there needs to be a formation change because at some point we've watched how many games Trent get done by simple 1-2s. And now VVD is dragged over to the wing and nobody is covering that space. And the ball always gets crossed into that space. Or you watch Trent get beat, which he's been getting beat a lot. Don't know why. And they always go into that same space and it draws our defenders out and it gets cut back inside. Not even crossed over, cut inside, goal. And my question is, I wonder why Klopp persists with the 4-3-3 when it's obvious that Fabinho's not having great games. Henderson not having great games. Even when we put in Elliott, a lot of people complain that Elliott is not doing what he needs to do defensively. Like, maybe switch it to a 4-4-2 where you have Salah and either Jota and Nunez up top, just to be able to give us some rigidity. Because at this point, We can't keep just drawing games. I look at the next games that we have, and I don't see where a win is going to come from. Even with teams we would normally beat. I cannot see a win. And I think that I don't know why Klopp is so reluctant to get away from the 4-2-3.
My bro.
Exactly.
That's my answer, man. I'm sorry you waited all that time, and you think you're gonna get a deep analytical response from me, and we're gonna try to break this down as brothers. I don't know right now. I really don't know right now. I said at the start of the show, Klopp seems to be scrambled in his thinking right now. And I thought this 3-week break would unscramble his scrambledness. But it doesn't seem to have changed anything. Today was atrocious.
Mm-hmm.
Like if it was 3-3 and we battered the shit out of them and they scored, if they had 5 chances and they scored 3 of them and we thought, damn, their keeper was man of the match and one of them ones, I don't know if it would have made me feel much better. But I could have seen light at the end of the tunnel. Okay, we're playing better. Okay, we smashed them.
Mm-hmm.
We were just unlucky. One of those days we saw a difference in formation, change in energy, vibrancy, alertness, energy, all of that business.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see none of that business. It was worrying. And I'm with you. I was joking. No, I wasn't even joking with Bilal. I'm serious. There's a draw against Everton. There's a draw against Palace. Whoa, sorry, who was it today? Who did we play today, man?
Brighton.
So there's a draw against Everton. There's a draw against Brighton. And now we got Man City and Arsenal next. Yeah.
Like what I miss from the team, what was missing from the team the most, and this is why I think a formation change is needed. Remember back in the day, back when the team was doing great, you would see the opponent team have a corner. And it would be like, okay, it's really simple what we're gonna do. We're gonna go, knock this up the field, somebody's gonna go chasing after it, ping, 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 goal. We're up a goal. You don't see any counter, any counter. You seldom see us have any like chances of like a counter. And it's funny because I feel like Firmino's goal, the second one, was what we used to do, which is what we did best. I'm actually happy. I'm very happy with Firmino, by the way, because I know a lot of people thought he was finished, and I don't like slating my play, but to see him get back in the goals it's a good sign. But I feel like if the players are struggling at some point in time, you need to help the players, and a formation change will help the players. Instead of Fabinho trying to go and do everything and he just seems that one step slower, you set somebody back there with him. Hey, maybe you might have to go and play a low block and use your players in counter because Diaz has been going absolutely crazy. Salah. We haven't got a chance to see Darwin Nunez and what he offers with his speed. We've seen Jota gone mad whenever we get things in the box, balls just ping off of him and enter the goal. And I don't know. Like at this point, our players are playing poorly, but I'm never going to be somebody to say that the manager needs to be removed, because that is flat out ridiculous. Never.
I'm with you on that count. And even Bilal hears us talking as Liverpool fans. He always says that's wild as well.
Yeah.
But there's absolutely no doubt that he must do better.
Have to. He has to.
He must do better. The players are in shit form.
They are.
He's responsible to either change it up, as you said, change up the formation, give them a jolt up the backside, and I thought he's done that in Napoli, against Napoli. Don't get it twisted. This was not a patch on Napoli.
No.
Brighton are a very good team. So first and foremost, props to Brighton.
First 20 minutes, first 20 they're bopping it. Like the way they pass the ball, the little short passes, and then when they have to defend, they defend tight. Brighton's mad. And this new manager, I don't know what kind of system they got at Brighton, because obviously they've lost a lot of people recently, but it seems to be ticking still.
I really think it's a thing where teams are watching, and I've watched like in the past, okay, how can we get past this team? Okay, if we're able to just play around, because what I notice in the game is you go and you'll see, I don't even see balls going really into the midfield like that anymore. I just see, okay, go down the wing, hit him on the wing. If Trent out of position, okay, hit him on the wing. If Simicast out of position, okay, hit him on the wing. Then cut back. Let them try to defend, because they're going to get, and more often than not, they're going to miss. And I just feel like, look, yeah, props to Brighton, because Trossard did us in, but props to the assist makers as well. Like, I really think that, see, because my worry is, okay, fine, let's say that this happens the whole year. I hope it doesn't. I really hope it doesn't. Let's say this happens the whole year. Fine, you can have an off year. We had an off year, and literally the next year went and chased absolutely everything. But what happens when it gets to year 2? I remember the season when everybody was injured, people were looking at Klopp and calling him Wenger 2.0. And I forgot who said it on here at the call, that when Klopp leaves, they don't want people to look at Klopp like, oh, well, you should have won this more, you should have won that.
Yeah, I think.
And I'm really afraid that happened. I'm really afraid of that happening. Like, I don't know where we go from here.
Man, you know what? I've enjoyed speaking to you, DH. I'm not even gonna lie. I've enjoyed speaking to you, man, because
thank you.
Because this is what you're supposed to do, right? When your team, you win together, you lose together, you kind of come together as the footballing community. By the way, guys, we're nearly up to 300 likes. We're only a few short. Smash that like button. Let's get up to 300 before we end. I haven't disagreed with anything you've said. And I've tried to take it all in, and I've tried to evaluate. And as I said, I'm not gonna go deep tonight. We're gonna go deep.
That's for Sunday.
We always do that. We always do it. We go deep on Sunday. Make sure, guys, everyone's tuned into RedFellas. It may not be pretty. It may not be what you want to hear, but it's therapy. But I'm just sat here and I don't know. Bilal, this is the first time in a long time. And people that listen to my waffle on my platforms know that I'm not a half glass empty kind of guy.
Yeah.
I don't know, Bilal. I genuinely don't know what's going on, because I was so convinced in my headpiece that after this break, we're going to come on strong. Okay, we've had a shit start. Okay, it's been rough. Injuries, blah, 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 blah. I said, no, there's no more excuses. I don't know what's the next excuse. DH asked, he didn't even ask, he just made some great points that I just have to agree with him and say, like he's kicking back in his chair, I'm kicking back in my chair. I say, yeah, man. I'm brushing. He's rubbing his beard and I'm rubbing my beard and say, yeah, man.
I'll even throw this in. It's even to a point where it's just like, if we had bought one or two midfielders, does this really help?
Well, you guys
mean-
brought in Arthur, and I don't know what the point of that was. When I saw him sign, I was like, I can't believe you guys have signed Arthur. Like, it seems like Liverpool right now, the strategy of over the summer was wrong, and maybe it's because Michael Edwards left, and people don't. Maybe we underestimated the effects of that happening, the planning. But a lot of it for me is Klopp is kind of some things tactically. I feel like he's overcomplicating a lot of things for the players, and just to keep things simple, because you were talking about it. You know, when you're talking about the corner and the counter of Liverpool, a few times today, Liverpool showed when they play direct, they can score goals, and that's Liverpool football. For me, you know, every team has their identity. Arsenal, I always associate them with like flair players and yeah, great strikers, wingers, midfielders, and good football. But a team like Liverpool, I always associate them with having just absolute gunmen, you know, up front, drillers, direct football, you know, getting stuck in your getting into your faces and all of that. That is kind of missing right now in Liverpool. You're not playing the Liverpool football that you should be playing, and Klopp needs to find a way to get back to that, because if he can, then fair enough, you can pick up a few results before the World Cup, and then when you come back from the break, whenever it comes back from the break, you're in a position where you're like, okay, we can claw this back. But if he doesn't figure it out now, it's going to get to the stage where we're going to the World Cup. People are going to be sitting on what's happening at Liverpool. Klopp's going to be thinking about it. The board's going to have time as well to maybe reassess and review what's been happening in the season. And when you come back, it could even get uglier. I'm telling you now, like if things don't change soon, because I've been saying it for Arsenal as well. If Arsenal, for some reason, messed up this month, mate, coming back is going to be long. This month here is maybe one of the most important months of the Premier League season. We always talk about February and March in the normal Premier League season, but I think October and the few weeks of November that we have, crucial.
There's one final thing I want to say before I get off of here. And everybody's been talking about Jude Bellingham. Everybody's been talking about how we need a right winger backup. Everybody talking about how we needed Nunez. I've always said this. I think we need a DM.
I think
Why?
Grizz agrees.
No, like I've looked at him. I've looked at Coach. I looked at Jurgen Hughes, Bajicic. I've looked at Jurgen Hughes. Was it Connor Bradley that played DM for us?
No, it was Tyler Morton.
That was Tyler Morton. Yeah, I've looked at them, and I've always felt like you always need somebody to come in, especially at that position. I feel like that position is the most important position in the team. Forget the strikers. I think that and the goalie. No, to be real, because when we signed Fabinho, everything changed. Everything changed. All of a sudden, teams started clicking a whole lot better. When we had Gerrard in that 13-14 one in that DM role, things clicked. Yeah, things happened, but he was there. There was a time when Lucas was there. Wasn't that good. Yeah, as soon as Fabinho came in, everything clicked. But it's more of a thing where a lot of people say, yeah, Milner should not be playing games. Yeah, Handel should be coming off the bench. I think Fabinho should be coming off the bench as well. For now, at least. We need somebody in there. We should have got somebody in there that can actually go and help control, you know, not just leave it on Fabinho, because right now we can look and say, if Fabinho gets injured, we're in trouble. I know a lot of people say, I know it felt like when Henderson got injured, a lot of people thought that we were in trouble, but if we're going to be honest, not me, but a lot of social media wanted to see Hendo going to see, okay, maybe we get better, but we didn't. I think that if in the summer we go after Bellingham and we don't get Bellingham, people are going to be angry. But I think we need to go after a DM. I really think we need a defensive midfielder. I really think we need another one, and I think that's going to be the easier one to get.
I don't even think it's a debate. I don't even think it's a conversation. I think it's a necessity.
Yep.
I think it's negligent that we haven't addressed that situation
Yep.
in the last 2 windows.
And I don't know whether it's FSG or if it's Jurgen saying no, we got Fabinho, it's fine. I don't know.
This is the only question in my head right now, in terms of if it's FSG holding him back, then my God, the tide will turn very, very quickly.
Yep, as it should.
But the only way we will know this is if Jurgen says something, does something, acts in a certain way, even gives us a hint. Because he doesn't. He says, okay, he said something about it's not my decision or something, but then he comes out and says, I'm good. I'm happy with these guys. So right now, it's adding to my assessment of him being scrambled in his thought process.
Yeah.
Because the things he's saying to us or has said to us in the last few months. And this is where a couple of times, I don't know if you've watched the last couple of calling shows where we spoke about the comparison to Wenger. Because Wenger was in a similar-ish situation with his owners.
This is terrible situation to be in, where the fans become unsure. Is it Klopp? Is it the ownership? Or is it this similar happened to Wenger? Was it Wenger? Was it Kroenke? Who's the problem here? And then at the end, it will always turn on the manager, because that's easy. You can't get rid of the ownership. It's hard. It's hard to get the ownership out.
Yeah.
But if the fans can turn in the end, and
the problem is though, as we saw when Wenger left, Arsenal were in the mud, and they're not completely out yet. They're not, because I can guarantee you, people will be unhappy with y'all finishing third.
Yeah, no, of course. Wenger, we were unhappy Wenger finishing top 4.
No, that's what I'm saying. People will be unhappy with Arteta finishing third. Why? Because he's top now. He's top now. And I feel like if Arsenal slip, it's gonna end up being something, and it shouldn't be. But I feel like that's the state of social media today.
I think Arsenal finished third this season, for example. I think 95% of people would be accepting of that situation, as long as, because the target is just to get back in the Champions League and get back to the point that we got angry Wenger at, and then once you get past that, then people, I think the next season, if you finish like third again and nothing happened on the trophy front, I was talking with Grizz, we're talking about expectations, then I think people start, then that cycle continues, because no one wants to stay stagnant. It was the same with Liverpool fans. I remember speaking to a Liverpool fan the season, you guys had loads of injuries. And I said, it'd be good if you guys come and just get top 4 this season. But he wasn't happy with me saying that. He said, no, we're Liverpool. We've just done X, Y, and Z. We need to be winning this trophy this season and that, because we're at this level now. I don't want to go back. Not because he understood the situation, but I think it was more of the case of he just doesn't want his team to go backwards or to stand still. And Liverpool fans are probably feeling that, things are
I agree with you. I agree with you, but I also do remember that the target for last year was 5th until Arsenal were 4th, and then Arsenal fell out of top 4, and everybody was like, I want this guy gone. That was the thing that did happen. And I feel like for you guys, for Arsenal especially, it's a good thing that you guys are top of the league, because you can kind of ride that wave, and you also beat Spurs. Great job, by the way, beating Spurs. Y'all needed that bad, but I feel like it's a good thing and it's a bad thing, because if Arsenal end up, because I know we've had to do the thing with Liverpool and Man City, going toe to toe year after year after year. Is Arsenal ready for that?
That's why I think the Liverpool players are tired. Imagine, we talk about the Liverpool players being older, aging, physically, maybe they've deteriorated a little bit. Imagine the mental toll of just putting everything into it and then you're just a point behind Man City all the time. How does that make you feel? Klopp, I remember, as I say, Klopp last season saying, I'm always like second, you know, like, because of a team like Man City. It's mad. We've never seen a team like Man City in the Premier League in terms of this level of consistency and just being like almost robots on the pitch.
And that's the other reason why I'm looking at Arsenal like, because at the end of the day, it's a reverse. Arsenal were fourth and dropped out. Arsenal's first.
Yeah.
And if Arsenal is still first, come March, come April, and y'all drop out of that first spot,
murder.
That's a real title challenge. No, that's different. That's a real title challenge, March to April, and it's on you to try and get over the line. Of course, people are not going to be happy, but I think the difference is it's Man City. Last season, you drop out, you finish below Tottenham. It's criminal. It's a criminal offence at Arsenal, and you let that happen. I don't know for how many years in a row now. That's why maybe the anger was there. But a lot of people and the club, people backed Arteta because at the end of the season, if you guys remember, we saw Arsenal showing signs after Aubameyang left, and we saw the football. We just knew the squad was really short. And Ketia up front, no one to help him. But guys, I got a question. If you guys just want to look at this, I'll just read out the teams and you give me your thoughts on, because it's just your fixtures and how many points you guys think you will get. Yeah,
don't do this.
So you got no. I just want to know. You got Arsenal next. I'll just give you. You got Arsenal next.
Arsenal.
Yeah, we saying.
Watch this one. Win.
Okay, cool. Man City. You got Man City at Anfield. At Anfield.
Lost.
Oh, okay, loss. You got West Ham at Anfield.
Draw.
You've got Forest away.
He just hates Arsenal.
Yeah.
No. I love Arsenal. I love Arsenal. The thing about it is, I feel like Arsenal, Liverpool's not Tottenham. We're not. You got to break that hurdle. Every time it comes to an important game, when it comes to Liverpool, you guys have lost. I can only go off of what's happened
remember
before.
Arsenal winning with Reece Nelson though recently. I'm not gonna lie. That was, I think it was lockdown.
Yeah, that was lockdown.
I remember that was funny.
Yeah,
that was
fair enough.
Arsenal team. That was like a
fair enough.
Arsenal team was criminal. That was a bad team.
But now listen, guys, we gotta keep this moving. I've only got 20 minutes left and about 5 minutes to go.
Cool.
DH,
thank you so much, Grizz.
It's a pleasure. Make sure you call in
BILAL,
again, especially
up,
if we beat Arsenal. I'm gonna look out for you. Make sure you call in again. We speak soon, my brother.
I'm ill that day if that happens. I'm ill. I can't
take care of yourself. Bye bye.
You too. Take care.
Bye bye.
Take care.
What a fantastic caller. Really enjoyed that.
I liked him.
And that made it's what it's about, man. It's what it's about at times like this. You know what I mean? Let's go get together, guys. 15, just over 15 minutes left. Let's get Sam, who's been waiting as well. Yes, Sam, welcome to the stream, bro. What's going on?
Thank you, Grizz and BILAL, for letting me on. I just want to talk about Trent. I feel like the midfield that Liverpool have, they're aging, as you say, not playing well this season. I feel like that's not coating Trent, because his defensive attributes, I'm sorry, they're not the greatest. As you saw today, Trossard almost like mocking him for the first goal. Like, honestly, I'm sorry. So I've been thinking, Grizz, have you thought about moving Trent into midfield, dictating the play, and then buying a right back?
Can I be honest?
Yeah.
Not deeply.
Because
not deeply. I haven't really given it like. No, I've just thought about it, like, when people mention it.
Yeah.
And then, but I think to myself, nah. But I get it, especially right now. Are you a Liverpool fan, by the way?
No, I'm a Chelsea fan. I just wanted to touch on Trent quickly.
Okay, cool. No. I hear everything that people are saying about Trent right now. I hear it. But I wouldn't play him in midfield personally, bro. He's too much of a weapon.
I've always thought
in a club system. Now, in another club, and for his national team, no problem. I understand he's got major flaws that other teams would look at or wouldn't like. Sorry, but for
Yeah.
us, he's too good. He's
Yeah.
too good
Yeah.
from our fullback situation. He's more positive than us than negative for us.
Yeah. I was just gonna ask you that question, but I wanted to talk about Chelsea because I'm a Chelsea fan, and I want to talk about Jorginho. And personally, for me, I feel like people saying striker curse, this and that, but I've been thinking about Jorginho. Everybody's saying he's too slow, which I agree. I feel like why don't we try and use people like Chukwuemeka? At least he's somebody faster that can play the ball out wide to people like Sterling, people like Havertz, and get into the box at Aubameyang, and maybe can feed off them chances. Because Jorginho, man, too slow on the ball, too slow, way too slow for us. And
have you never been a fan, or are you realizing now? Where are you with Jorginho?
For me, at the start, like 18-19 season, I was a fan of him because like Hazard, you know, he was almost like covering all our tracks, you could say, and stuff like that. But people like Havertz not creating and not having great performances, like it's not good enough, and it's really showing that our attacking force is just not there. So midfield creative midfielders, yeah, I've not been a fan of them since that whole, you know, that summer transfer window where Lampard was just signing people like Ziyech, Havertz. I wasn't too confident on them, to be honest. But yeah, hopefully we get Nkunku. He can maybe create for... Because I wouldn't play Nkunku up front. I would play him in like a more 10 role. And maybe you can sign a new striker because Aubameyang, I don't think he'll play as much next season. He's only like a short-term striker.
Is it 1 season, one year's loan, or is it a loan, or is it? I can't remember.
No, it's a buy.
They
but
spent
I
like
don't.
20 million on him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Sorry, my
but
bad.
Barcelona got some free money, man. I don't know. Edu
Yeah.
Gaspar, man, need to be investigated. Are you giving Barcelona free money?
Well, yeah. Personally, Jorginho slows the tempo of the game, and I feel like somebody like Edison Alvarez could add some composure to the midfield. We can take control. He's actually quite quick on the ball, you know, and maybe buy, as I said, Nkunku. And I feel like that midfield will be more balanced because Jorginho playing as like a DM, he gets ran all over in the midfield. Today, what's his name? Elise and Eze were absolutely bullying him in midfield. And honestly, we can't have that. We need control in these types of games. And if we don't have that, how do we expect to get into the top 4? I'm saying this personally as a real Chelsea fan here, and I'm not liking what I'm seeing. Obviously, there were positives in the game, Aubameyang scoring, but Jorginho is a big problem. Personally, we need to buy somebody new.
So, do you think Potter will persevere, or do you think he'll?
What with Jorginho?
Who have you got now as option instead of Jorginho?
Zakaria, Chukwuemeka, Loftus-Cheek. I would have liked Loftus-Cheek, you know, playing from the start because he had some pace, aggression in the midfield. You know, yeah, that Tottenham game at the start of the season, you could really see that he's much more physical in the midfield, and we were outnumbering Tottenham in that game because of his presence in the midfield. And I feel like Jorginho doesn't have that. Honestly, doesn't have that, and it's really concerning because we have nothing to feed on if he's way too slow on the ball. I don't like this sideways passing, backways passing. Like, it's not good enough. Honestly, we're not creating any chances. I think we only had 2 shots on target this game. And honestly, it's not good. It's not good.
Their creativity will improve under Potter, won't it, Bilal? Because that's what he's...
Yeah, well, Potter's famous for using players like Chelsea have a lot of these players who don't really have a fixed position. And Potter's at Brighton found a way to get the best out of them. But this when Tuchel was in the summer transfer window, Chelsea ended up having, and the squad you guys have, I always looked at Chelsea's squad, and I remember having Chelsea fans battling me. I was like, listen, the squad for me is not moving me the way it should with the money spent and everything that's gone into Chelsea over the past God knows how many years. I feel like this squad that Chelsea have, I look at the attack of Aubameyang, Sterling, Havertz, look at the midfield, Mount, Jorginho, Kante when he's there. I look at even Kepa's back in the team. It's very weird at Chelsea. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
And in terms of managers now, that's why I know Man United haven't got their pieces in place yet completely. But I look at the likes of Ten Hag and what he's going to do at Man United. For the first time since Fergie's left, I feel like Man United have got a really good manager. And I just think it's going to get to the point where it's going to be like a Man United Chelsea. If Liverpool don't fix up, they're going to be involved in this sort of battle for maybe the last Champions League spot. And that's where maybe Chelsea might struggle, because I'm just looking at Liverpool. I feel like Liverpool, Klopp can find a way with the players that he has to get it to click. United the same. But Chelsea, you have the players, but it's a lot of unknown right now, to be honest. It's a lot of unknown, and it might take a bit of a while for everything to click in a window. Talking about Nkunku already, it might take a window. Trossard's going to be available on the free. Maybe you get someone like him in. And then next season we see what Chelsea can do. But right now it's quite unclear. And I always struggle with how to view Chelsea, because in the league they can have a bad season, but then it comes to them big games in the cups and they can do a job. I always find it weird to judge them. But I look at them in the league right now, and I look at United, I look at Liverpool, still feel like I feel like these two teams could just be a bit stronger than Chelsea this season, to be honest. Yeah,
I feel like with our previous managers, he's been getting he hasn't been getting the right players. He's just almost wanting the superstars, the big money players. But I feel like with Potter, he could get the right players. They don't even have to be known. Think about it. Orsic, Dynamo Zagreb, he's not known world class superstar. But I can tell he can bring something to this Chelsea team.
That pace is frightening.
Didn't Orsic not get a move? Am I bugging? Did he
No.
It was meant to move to a club, not a big club. But I don't know. Maybe it didn't happen. In my head, I think.
No. He's the one who scored against them. He scored against a couple of
Tottenham
teams as well
in the Champions League at one point.
That's right.
But honestly,
I think you've seen the worst. Sam. I hate to say it. I think you've seen the worst of your situation. I think it's only way is up now for you guys. In my opinion, I think you've got one of the best coaches in Europe. I'm going to say it out loud.
Wow.
I think you got one of the best coaches in Europe. This guy is a top quality coach, and he's going to have some great players. You got to remember, none of these players are his really. Well, we don't know. We don't know in terms of which ones he's going to keep long term. Obviously, he's going to keep majority of them, because he's not that type of guy just to go in there and make bare changes. But he's a top quality coach, and you lot are going to enjoy. I hate it, man. I'm so gutted. I'm jealous. I'm angry. I'm bitter. I'm extra bitter today because we didn't win. So excuse me for all the salt. But yeah, man, he's very, very good coach, and I think he's going to do very well at your club. I think you're going to start seeing the likes of Sterling and Havertz and Mount and these guys go on to another level. He's really, really good with man management, taking these players and elevating them. Look at the performance the Brighton lads put in today. That wasn't because of this new coach. That was because of Potter. Those are all Potter's ballers. Those are all Potter's ballers, bro. Gross, Trossard, McAllister ran the show today. That guy in midfield.
That guy's a baller. You talk about it everywhere.
That's what I'm saying.
Bro, you replace Jorginho with McAllister, and Chelsea are doing bits.
Exactly. Somebody that can take control of the midfield. That's what we need. But touching on Graham Potter, when he gets his philosophy over to the Chelsea players, because we need to remember that he hasn't spent a long time with these players, because obviously match postponements, international break. He still needs to get his way of playing across to the players, because they haven't spent a lot of time together. So when more matches come through, more training sessions, I feel like, we can go up. But he needs to start thinking about his midfield. January will be very important. because after January, that will be a very decisive month in the year. Because if we're still playing like this after January, then I don't see top 4 for us. And I'll be honest. I'll be so honest. Yeah.
Really? I think it's gonna be a mad close race, guys. I genuinely do. I think it's gonna be mad. Guys in the studio, I'm booting you out for a reason because there's no more time. I'm not booting you out because I'm mean and nasty. There's about 5 of you still in there.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, guys. There's no time anymore left on the show tonight. 3 hours is nearly up. I'm knackered. I've got another show to do at 11.
Yeah.
And I need to eat in between. So apologies. Oh shit, it's 10:15. But Sam.
Yeah, I didn't even realize.
It's been nice chatting to you, man.
Thank you, bro.
Make sure you call in again, man. It's, you know what I mean? I like callers like you that know the game, man. Respect
Press,
you. Big up
press the
yourself.
like button, you know.
100%. Big up
Respect.
yourself, man. Nice one. Keep in touch.
Thank you.
Look after yourself.
Have a good
man.
night.
Take care.
You too, man.
Well, you know what? He was calm, you know. He was nice,
Yeah,
you
it's
know.
a good lad.
Young Bucks, bro. Chelsea rep. Keep in touch with him, man.
Keep
He
in
knows
touch,
what he's
man.
talking about, bro. I like people like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
His footballing IQ was high. I'm telling you, I can tell. But Bilal, I'm depressed, man. Like you guys. Okay, and I'm not depressed about you lot. Like, okay,
yeah, I know
cool.
it's your team now, of course.
It's tomorrow. Tomorrow, Man United. Are they gonna really get something at Man City? No.
I don't know. As much as I say, I rate Ten Hag so highly, but it's a bit early for them.
I think they can, you know. I think they can.
Ollie's done it. You never know.
Exactly. People in the chat, man. You guys are all magnificent. Thank you very much for staying with us for so long. Big up all the mods in there. Jezza, I'm so sorry, my bro. Just ran out of time. The callers were so good. I tried to get as many. I think we got a few. I think we got
a lot of new
loads
people that I
callers.
haven't really seen as well. Yeah.
Exactly. So always, you know what I mean? Jezza, big up yourself, of course. I'm going to make sure, get you on a priority next call. I'll make sure, yeah, bro. I'm so sorry you had to apologize for not letting you on today. But yeah, man, people, yeah, we're not going anywhere, man. We're still out here. I'm going to do the rate and debate show tomorrow, guys. I can't. I'm going to cancel it, postpone it for tonight. I know people probably want to get onto the Liverpool player ratings, but I'm going to put it on the notification. I'm going to put it in a community channel now. I'm going to probably do it around after the Manchester derby tomorrow. So I'll speak about the Manchester derby and then I'll do the player ratings on that show. So guys, thank you very much for tuning in. Bilal, anything else you want to say before we out of here?
Just big up Arsenal, man. Top of the league. What more can I ask for? But as I said, today was light work. I already knew we were going to win before the game started. So I told you anyway. I'm not surprised.
You Arsenal fans, chess man. People, this has been the call-in show, your favorite call-in show. We out of here. We see you tomorrow. Take care.
Peace.